Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So happy to see you. Today we have something really special. We're diving into the truth about your twin connection. This is a timeless love reading, meaning it's relevant whenever you're watching this. So what makes this reading unique? We're going to explore the core of your connection. Think of it as a deep dive into what truly binds you and your twin flame. We'll look at the present energies, potential challenges, and the ultimate purpose of this bond. I'm so excited to see what comes through. It feels really powerful. Now, how to choose? We have 4 beautiful crystal markers, each representing a different facet of your twin flame journey. First, we have the Aquamarine point, representing unwavering foundations. This pile is about grounding and solidifying your connection in reality. Next, we have the Jasper sphere, symbolizing balanced reflections. This pile is about harmonizing mirrored aspects within yourselves. Then there's the Fluorite star, about illuminated pathways, representing awakening to hidden truths. Finally, we have the Hematite moon, embodying magnetic rhythms about the natural ebb and flow of your bond. Take a deep breath, clear your mind, and let your intuition guide you. Which crystal are you most drawn to? There's no pressure, and it's totally okay if more than one calls to you. Maybe check out a few, see what resonates. Now, let's take a moment to make a wish. Focus on the crystal you've chosen, visualize your twin flame, and send out your intention for clarity, healing, and deeper understanding. Remember, trust your intuition, and know that the universe is guiding you perfectly. I'm excited to jump in. Hey there, you beautiful soul. If you were drawn to this shimmering aquamarine point, this reading is especially for you. Aquamarine is all about grounding, and that's so key because this reading is about building unwavering foundations for your connection, making it super solid and real. So let's dive in and see what the cards have to say about your love life. Oh my gosh, I'm already excited. Okay, so the first card we have is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, buckle up, Buttercup, because the Wheel of Fortune is all about, major shifts and cycles. When I see this card, I immediately think of destiny, karma, and the ever-turning tides of life. It's like things are constantly changing, you know? Up, down, up again, that's the wheel. And honestly, with Aquamarine's grounding energy here, it's like you're being asked to stay centered even when things feel like they're spinning out of control. I feel like, for you, this Wheel of Fortune is highlighting a significant turning point in your connection. Maybe you've been feeling stuck, or things have been stagnant, or you've been in a holding pattern. Well, guess what? The universe is saying, time to move. This could mean a lot of things, honestly. Maybe it's a change in perspective, a shift in roles, or even a literal change of location, who knows? The wheel is mysterious. It's like, what goes up must come down, and what's been down will eventually rise again. So if things have been tough, take heart. Things are looking up. But if things have been amazing, maybe prepare for a little. I don't want to say dip, but a little recalibration. I get the sense that this turning point is deeply tied to your twin flame journey. Like, maybe you've been working through some karmic patterns or old wounds, and the wheel is signifying that you're finally ready to break free from those cycles. You know, those patterns that just keep repeating and repeating. Like, you attract the same kind of person over and over, or you keep falling into the same relationship dynamic. This is your chance to really shift things. Maybe you've been feeling like you have no control over what's happening. Like, you're just a passenger on this crazy roller coaster ride of twin flame energy. But the Wheel of Fortune is also a reminder that you do have a role to play. You have the power to influence the direction of the wheel, even if you can't completely stop it from turning. Does that make sense? It's like, you can't control what life throws at you, but you can control how you react to it. So choose wisely. And with Aquamarine here, it's like, really ground yourself in your truth and your values. Don't let the chaos around you throw you off balance. Stay connected to your center. Meditate, spend time in nature, do whatever helps you feel grounded and secure. Because when the wheel is spinning, you need to be rooted. Okay, so that's the wheel. But wait, there's more, because next we have the Lovers. Ooh la la. Okay, so the Lovers card is all about choices, harmony, and of course, love. But it's not just about romantic love. It's about any kind of union or partnership. It could be a business partnership, a friendship, or even a partnership with yourself. It's about alignment and making choices that are in harmony with your soul. I feel like, in the context of your twin flame connection, the Lover's card is highlighting the importance of making conscious choices about your relationship. Are you choosing to be with this person? Are you choosing to work through the challenges? Are you choosing to create a harmonious connection? It's not enough to just sit back and let things happen. You have to actively participate in creating the kind of relationship you want. Maybe you've been avoiding making a decision about your twin flame connection. Maybe you've been unsure about whether to commit fully or whether to walk away. The Lover's card is urging you to make a choice. But it's not just about choosing yes or no. It's about choosing what's right for your soul. What will bring you the most joy, the most growth, and the most fulfillment? And honestly, this choice might not be easy. It might require you to confront some fears or insecurities. Maybe you're afraid of getting hurt. Maybe you're afraid of commitment. Maybe you're afraid of not being good enough. But the Lover's card is a reminder that you are worthy of love, and you deserve to be in a relationship that makes you feel amazing. Okay, and here's the tea. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers together, I'm feeling like this choice around your twin flame is divinely timed. It's like the universe is conspiring to bring you together, but you still have to make the conscious choice to step into that union. It's not just going to magically happen. You have to actively participate in creating the love that you desire. And with the Aquamarine, again, it's about grounding that decision in your truth. Don't let other people's opinions or expectations sway you. Listen to your heart and choose what feels right for you. This is your journey, your love story, and you get to write the ending. But hold on, because there's one more card to consider. The Two of Swords. This is where things get interesting. Okay, so the Two of Swords usually shows a person blindfolded, holding two swords, and it represents being at a crossroads. Like you have a decision to make, but you're feeling blocked or uncertain. You're weighing your options, but you can't seem to see clearly. It's like you're trying to make a decision with your mind, but your intuition is blocked. I feel like, in the context of your twin flame connection, the Two of Swords is highlighting a need for clarity. Maybe you're feeling confused about your feelings, or unsure about the direction of the relationship. Maybe you're getting mixed signals from your twin flame, or maybe you're just not sure what to do next. You're stuck in your head, overthinking everything, and it's preventing you from moving forward. The thing about the Two of Swords is that it often indicates a fear of making the wrong decision. You're so afraid of messing things up that you end up doing nothing at all. But the truth is, sometimes the best thing you can do is to take a leap of faith, even if you can't see where you're going. Maybe you've been relying too much on logic and reason, and not enough on your intuition. The Two of Swords is a reminder that sometimes you have to trust your gut, even if it doesn't make sense. Your intuition is your superpower, and it will guide you in the right direction. So how do you break free from this stalemate? How do you remove the blindfold and see clearly? Well, I feel like the answer lies in connecting with your heart. Get out of your head and into your feelings. What does your heart tell you about your twin flame connection? What does your intuition say? Trust those inner whispers, even if they seem scary or irrational. And honestly, this might require you to confront some difficult truths. Maybe you have to admit that things aren't perfect. Maybe you have to acknowledge some uncomfortable feelings. But the more honest you are with yourself, the clearer you will become. And with Aquamarine, it's like, use that grounding energy to connect with your inner wisdom. Meditate, journal, or spend time in nature. Ask yourself the hard questions and listen for the answers. The truth is within you, waiting to be discovered. So putting it all together, Wheel of Fortune, Lovers, and Two of Swords, it's like you're at a major turning point in your twin flame journey. A significant choice is on the horizon, but you're feeling blocked or uncertain. The key is to trust your intuition, connect with your heart, and make a decision that aligns with your soul. And remember, Aquamarine is here to help you stay grounded and centered throughout the process. I feel like this is such a powerful combination of cards, and I'm so excited to see what unfolds for you. Just remember to stay present, stay open, and trust the journey. You've got this. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what the next cards reveal. Okay. Deep breaths, so after all that. We have the Five of Swords. Ooh, okay, so first impression, this card is intense. Like swords are already a little bit edgy, right? But 5 of them. And the vibe of this card is definitely not sunshine and rainbows, you know? Like someone's walking away from a battle, maybe. Looking a little smug, to be honest. Definitely some tension here. Okay, so let's connect this to where we've been. We had that Wheel of Fortune, that major turning point. Then the Lovers, that big choice. And then the Two of Swords, stuck in indecision, blindfolded. So it's like, maybe that indecision, that fear of making the wrong choice, has led to some kind of conflict. Or maybe the turning point itself is causing some friction. It feels like things are getting a little messy, a little complicated. You know, the Five of Swords is often about conflict, victory, and defeat, but it's not always a clear-cut win-lose situation. Sometimes the victory is hollow. Like you might win the battle but lose the war, you know. And with the twin flame journey, everything is amplified, right? So any conflict is going to feel supercharged. Maybe you're fighting with your twin flame. Maybe you're fighting with yourself. Or maybe you're fighting against external forces that are trying to keep you apart. And the thing about the Five of Swords is that it can also represent the shadow side of our ego. Like pride, arrogance, and the need to be right at all costs. Maybe someone's being a little manipulative, trying to control the situation. Or maybe someone's just feeling really insecure and lashing out. This card can be a warning to check your motives. Are you acting from a place of love or a place of fear? Are you trying to win at all costs, or are you trying to create a win-win situation? Honestly, these are important questions. But remember, we have that beautiful aquamarine here, grounding everything. So even though there's conflict, there's also an opportunity to navigate it with integrity. To stay true to your values and to communicate honestly and openly. Aquamarine is all about clear communication, right? So maybe this is a reminder to speak your truth, but to do it with compassion and respect. Don't let your ego get in the way. Don't resort to name-calling or blame-shifting. Just state your needs and listen to the other person's perspective. Okay, so let's think about some possible scenarios. Maybe you're experiencing external conflict. Like maybe there are people in your life who don't support your twin flame connection. Maybe they're jealous, or they don't understand, or they're just being negative. And that's creating tension and stress. Or maybe you're dealing with internal conflict. Like, maybe you're doubting yourself, or you're struggling with insecurities, or you're not sure if you're good enough for your twin flame. This can manifest as anxiety, self-sabotage, or even pushing your twin flame away. It's like you're creating your own obstacles. And of course, there's the possibility of conflict within the twin flame relationship itself. Maybe you're disagreeing about something important. Maybe you have different needs or expectations, or maybe you're just triggering each other's old wounds. Twin flame relationships can be so intense, right? Because they mirror back to you all of your stuff, all of your baggage, and that can be really challenging. But it's also an opportunity for deep healing and growth. But like another possibility, thinking out loud here, maybe this conflict is actually a necessary step in your journey. Maybe you need to clear the air to get all the unresolved issues out on the table. Sometimes, conflict can be a catalyst for change. It can force you to confront uncomfortable truths and to find new ways of relating to each other. It's like you have to break things down before you can build them back up stronger. Does that make sense? And remember the Lover's card, that choice. Maybe this conflict is a test of your commitment. Are you willing to work through the challenges? Are you willing to fight for your connection? Or are you going to give up at the first sign of trouble? The Lover's card is about making a conscious choice to be together, even when things get tough. It's about choosing love over fear, over and over again. It's like relationships aren't always easy, especially twin flame relationships. There are going to be ups and downs, but the key is to keep choosing each other, to keep showing up, and to keep communicating. Okay, so Five of Swords. Not the easiest card, but definitely not the end of the world. Remember the Aquamarine, grounding, truth, and clear communication. Use this energy to navigate the conflict with grace and integrity. Don't let your ego get in the way. Stay true to your values, and trust that even in the midst of chaos, there's an opportunity for growth and healing. But oh my gosh, what does this mean for the rest of the reading? Are things going to get even more intense? Or is this the turning point, the climax of the drama? I'm seriously on the edge of my seat here. I can't wait to see what the next cards reveal. Okay, so maybe this situation feels like you're constantly proving yourself, or that you're always having to one-up somebody, or that you have to compete in order to be loved, in order to be seen, in order to be valid. And that there's this unconscious fear that if you ever have to have the audacity to rest, or if you have the audacity to not be as productive as possible, that you will fall off the pedestal, and you will no longer be worthy, and no one will care, and you will be alone forever and ever and ever. Amen. I feel like your work ethic comes from a place of fear, instead of excitement, instead of creativity, instead of inspiration. And I think what you need to realize is that you're worthy regardless. You don't have to constantly prove that you are enough. People love you for simply existing, for simply being you. And you do not have to constantly perform in order to keep them around. And if someone were to love you conditional on the amount of work that you produce, they are not part of your special campfire. Also, I really feel like this competitive thing too, because I feel like your potential and what you have to offer can be so easily intimidated by people in the same field, or doing similar things. I feel like you might downplay your experiences, you might feel like you're not qualified enough, or that you haven't suffered enough, or that there are far better people already doing it, or people might be doing it for longer and there's no point, and you may be so easily discouraged to even try. And the thing is, what you have to offer is unique, your experiences, your personality, your perspective. That's something that can never be replicated. What you offer is your own unique special sauce that only you can make, and to get really sad when you are not sharing that out of fear that you'll be mocked, or out of fear that you'll fail, because that's essentially what happens when you don't follow your path. Imagine if Beyonce was well, there's already so many singers, there's already so many pop stars, there's already so many talented people. What's the point? We would not have the gift that is Beyonce. There's a reason why you have been nudged to do the things you do, to learn the things you do, to explore the things you do. You are not meant to just sit on, that you are meant to share that gift, and to honor that. You are not being arrogant if you recognize what gifts you have. That's just simply having awareness. You might as well be arrogant if you were completely aware of your gifts, and you chose to do nothing with them. There is a reason why you are called to what you are called to. And to understand that you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and that you're just simply weeding out who's not part of your special campfire, that if someone doesn't jive with what you're doing, that's perfectly fine. You're not gonna lower your vibration to coddle to them. It's a matter of you just existing in your truth, you just creating what you want to create. And that's literally it. People have free will. They can vibe with you. They don't have to vibe with you. I think that you need to be reminded that there is time to rest, that when you do rest, that's when you receive those downloads, that's when you receive those creative urges. That's when you have the space, the mental space to come up with all the ideas, because you're so caught up in doing and doing and doing and doing and doing to prove yourself that you leave little space to even create anything. And you end up burning out so quickly, and you're just in this constant state of exhaustion. You need to have more trust in the process, that you are not going to fall off the pedestal, that you are worthy, that people aren't going to just forget about you, that if you take a break, that you need to have more faith in your downloads, that when you are in that space of relaxation, that the universe will nudge you, and that there will be serendipitous moments where you will be reminded of your path, or you will receive these great ideas, or you will connect with like-minded people. I think that you need to release the need to control, the need to be perfect, the need to prove yourself, that you can just be, and people will love you, that you need to just simply exist and share what you're good at, and to create the things you want to create, and to explore the things you want to explore, and the right people will come to you when you are in that space. And when you are comparing yourself to other people, remember that people are only showing what they want you to see. Everyone has their struggles, everyone has their downfalls, and that you're not seeing the full picture, And to not diminish what you have to offer, like your special sauce, your unique blend of everything, is always gonna be valuable. Like you can be replaced, but you can't be replicated. If that makes sense, so continue showing up for yourself, continue being authentic, continue honoring what you were pulled to create, and continue to be excited about sharing that. And that is literally it. And it'll get easier and easier and easier, and easier the more you practice it. But to just keep showing up, to just keep creating, to just keep just being, because there's a reason why you're here. Okay, so now we have the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so now after the Five of Swords, we pull the High Priestess. Ooh, oh, now this is interesting. Okay, so right off the bat, the High Priestess is like intuition central, right? Like she's the ultimate guide to the subconscious, to the hidden realms, to all that mysterious inner wisdom. It's like she's got secrets, you know. And she's not just gonna hand them over. You have to be willing to go deeper, to really listen. So, connecting this back to everything we've already seen. The Wheel of Fortune turning, that big choice with the Lovers, the Two of Swords with the feeling stuck, and then the Five of Swords with that conflict. It's like all of that external drama, all that noise, is almost forcing you to turn inward. Like the universe is saying, okay, enough with the outside stuff. It's time to connect with your inner knowing. Does that make sense? The High Priestess is all about trusting your intuition, trusting your gut feelings, even when they don't make logical sense. And I feel like, with everything that's been going on, you might be really struggling to do that right now. Like, maybe you're feeling overwhelmed by all the choices, all the conflicts, all the uncertainty. And it's making it really hard to hear that quiet voice inside. But that's exactly what the High Priestess is here to remind you to do. To go within, to listen to your intuition, to trust your inner guidance. She's the keeper of the mysteries, and she's saying that the answers you're seeking are already inside you. You just have to be willing to quiet the noise and listen. Okay, so let's think about some possible scenarios here. Maybe that conflict from the Five of Swords, maybe it was with your twin flame, right? Maybe you guys were arguing about something, or maybe there was some kind of misunderstanding. And the High Priestess is saying that the key to resolving that conflict isn't necessarily through more talking or more arguing. It's about going within and understanding your own emotions, your own motivations. Like, what's really driving you in this situation? What are you really feeling? And honestly, maybe you're picking up on your twin flame's energy too, right? Because that's what happens with twin flames, you feel each other's stuff. So maybe you're feeling their doubts, their fears, their insecurities. And the High Priestess is saying that you need to discern what's yours and what's theirs. Don't take on their stuff as your own. Stay grounded in your own truth. Or maybe the conflict was more internal, like you were battling with your own doubts and insecurities. The High Priestess is saying that those doubts and insecurities are just illusions. They're not the truth of who you are. The truth is that you are powerful, you are intuitive, you are connected to something bigger. You just have to remember that. And remember that Two of Swords. That feeling of being stuck, blindfolded, the High Priestess is like the antidote to that. She's the one who can remove the blindfold and help you see clearly. But she's not going to do it for you. You have to be willing to do the work, to go within, to connect with your intuition. So how do you actually do that? How do you connect with your inner wisdom? Well, there are lots of different ways. Meditation is a great one, right? Just quieting your mind and listening to the silence. Or spending time in nature, connecting with the earth's energy. Or journaling, writing down your thoughts and feelings and seeing what comes up. Or even just doing something creative, like painting or dancing or singing. Anything that helps you get out of your head and into your body. And with the Aquamarine here, it's like, really use that grounding energy to anchor yourself in your intuition. Aquamarine is all about clear communication, right? And that includes communicating with yourself. So be honest with yourself about what you're feeling, what you're needing. Don't try to push anything down or ignore it. Just acknowledge it and listen to what it has to tell you. The High Priestess is also a reminder that there's a divine plan at work here. Even if you can't see it right now, even if things feel chaotic and confusing, there's a bigger purpose unfolding. And you are a part of that purpose. You are being guided, you are being supported. You just have to trust the process. Okay, so let's connect this back to the Lover's card again. That choice that you have to make about your twin flame connection. The High Priestess is saying that the answer to that choice isn't in your head. It's in your heart. It's in your intuition. What does your gut tell you to do? What feels right for your soul? Don't let other people's opinions sway you. Don't let fear hold you back. Just listen to your inner knowing and trust that it will guide you in the right direction. And remember, this isn't just about romantic love. It's about loving yourself too. It's about choosing what's best for your own growth and fulfillment. And honestly, maybe the High Priestess is also hinting that there's something you're not seeing. Something that's hidden, something that needs to be brought to light. Maybe there's a secret that needs to be revealed, or maybe there's a truth that you're avoiding. The High Priestess is urging you to dig deeper, to ask the hard questions, to be willing to confront whatever comes up. This isn't always easy, right? Sometimes it's scary to look within. Sometimes we're afraid of what we might find. But the High Priestess is saying that you are strong enough to handle it. You are capable of facing your fears and uncovering your truth. And on the other side of that fear, there's freedom, there's clarity, there's peace. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune, Lovers, 2 of Swords, 5 of Swords, and now the High Priestess. It's like you've been through this whirlwind of change, this period of conflict, this moment of indecision, but now you're being called to go within, to connect with your intuition, to trust your inner guidance. And the Aquamarine is there to help you stay grounded and centered throughout the process. I feel like this is such a powerful message, especially in the context of a twin flame connection. Because twin flame relationships can be so intense, so emotionally charged. And it's so easy to get caught up in the drama and lose sight of your own inner compass. But the High Priestess is reminding you that you have everything you need inside you. You have the wisdom, the strength, the intuition to navigate this journey. And honestly, this card is also giving me a vibe of hidden influences. Are you getting guidance from your guides? Are you seeing signs? Because the High Priestess is all about the unseen realms and seriously, pay attention to those dreams. What are they telling you? What symbols are popping up repeatedly? The universe is trying to communicate. But oh my gosh, what does this mean for the final cards? Are we going to see more inner work, more revelations, or are we going to come back out into the world and take action? I am so excited to find out. This is getting so good. Okay, deep breath, let's see what's next. Okay. And after all that intense inner searching we get the 10 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Pentacles are all about the material world, right? Security, stability, abundance, family. The things you can see and touch. So after all that deep diving with the High Priestess, it's now we're bringing it back down to earth. But how does that fit with everything else we've been seeing? Okay, so initial thought. This is about building something real and lasting, taking all that inner work and turning it into something tangible in your life. Does that make sense? It's not just about having amazing spiritual insights or intense emotional connections. It's about creating a life that reflects those things. Remember that conflict from the 5 of Swords? Maybe the point of that conflict wasn't just to fight and argue, but to clear the way for building a stronger, more stable foundation. Maybe you had to get all that stuff out in the open so you could finally move forward and create the kind of life you really want. And the High Priestess. It's all that intuition, all that inner wisdom is what's going to guide you in making those practical decisions. What kind of home do you want to create? What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? How do you want to share your abundance with others? It's not just about having a nice house or a lot of money. It's about creating a life that feels aligned with your soul. So yeah, this is the ultimate culmination, right? Okay, so let's dig into some possible scenarios here. Maybe you've been feeling really uncertain about your future. Maybe you've been wondering if this twin flame connection is ever going to lead to anything real. Maybe you've been afraid to invest too much because you're not sure if it's going to last. The 10 of Pentacles is like a big green light from the universe. It's saying, yes, this is real. This is worth investing in. This has the potential to be something amazing and lasting. But it's not just going to magically happen. You have to be willing to put in the work to create that stability and security for yourself. And honestly, this card can also represent family. Maybe you've been struggling with family issues, or maybe your family doesn't approve of your twin flame connection. The Ten of Pentacles is like a reminder that you can create your own family. You can surround yourself with people who love and support you, even if they're not your blood relatives. And maybe, just maybe, your twin flame is part of that family. Maybe you're creating a new kind of family together, one that's based on love, respect, and mutual support. Or maybe this is about redefining what family even means to you. Like, maybe you've always felt pressured to follow a certain path, to get married and have kids and live in a certain kind of house. But the Ten of Pentacles is like, wait a minute, that's not the only way to be happy. You can create your own definition of success and happiness. And honestly, with a twin flame connection, that's often what it's all about, right? Breaking free from societal norms and creating your own unique path. So maybe this is about building a life that's unconventional, that's outside the box, but that's still deeply fulfilling and meaningful. It's like you're creating a new kind of legacy, one that's based on love, authenticity, and spiritual growth. And I also get this sense that this isn't just about you and your twin flame. It's about something bigger. It's about creating a ripple effect, inspiring others to live more authentically and to create lives that are aligned with their souls. Because honestly, that's what twin flame connections are all about, right? They're not just about finding your soulmate and living happily ever after. They're about waking each other up, challenging each other to grow, and inspiring each other to make a difference in the world. So maybe this Ten of Pentacles is about creating a legacy of love and light, leaving the world a little bit better than you found it. And I feel like, with that Wheel of Fortune in the mix, this is also about cycles and patterns. Maybe you're breaking free from old family patterns, from old beliefs about love and relationships. Maybe you're creating a new cycle, one that's based on healthier, more fulfilling connections. Like, maybe you're learning how to communicate more effectively, how to set boundaries, how to create a relationship that's truly equal and balanced. And that's not just going to benefit you and your twin flame, it's going to benefit everyone around you. It's going to create a ripple effect of healthier relationships, more loving families, and a more compassionate world. Does that resonate? Okay, and remember the Lover's card. That choice that you had to make. The Ten of Pentacles is like, okay, you made your choice. Now it's time to build something with it. It's not enough to just choose love. You have to actively create a life that supports that love. You have to make choices every day that are aligned with your values and your goals. And that might mean making some sacrifices. It might mean letting go of some old habits or beliefs, but it's all going to be worth it in the end. Because you're creating something that's truly special, something that's built to last. Like, this is the real deal. And you know, connecting this to the Aquamarine, that grounding energy is so important here. Because when you're building something real, you need to be grounded in your truth, in your values. You can't just be floating around in the clouds, dreaming about the future. You have to be present in the moment, making conscious choices that are aligned with your goals. Aquamarine is all about clear communication, right? So this is also about communicating your needs and desires to your twin flame. Being honest about what you want to create together, and being willing to compromise and work together to make it happen. Because building a life together is a team effort. It's not about one person calling all the shots, it's about creating something that works for both of you. And honestly, this card can also represent financial security. Maybe you've been struggling with money issues, or maybe you're worried about the future. The Ten of Pentacles is like a sign that abundance is on its way. But it's not just going to fall into your lap. You have to be proactive, you have to be responsible, you have to be willing to work for it. But if you do, the rewards will be great. You'll create a life that's not only financially secure, but also deeply fulfilling and meaningful. And I think there may be some element of involving existing family members in your twin flame connection. The Ten of Pentacles suggests that your relationship with your twin flame may have long-term implications for your family life. Okay. So Ten of Pentacles, after all that inner work and conflict. It's like, Now you're ready to build something real, something lasting, something that reflects your values and your dreams. And the Aquamarine is there to help you stay grounded and centered throughout the process. It's like, this is the culmination of everything you've been working towards. You're creating a life that's not only beautiful and fulfilling, but also deeply meaningful and impactful. But oh my gosh, what does this mean for the final card? Are we going to see more about the practical steps you need to take? Or are we going to get a glimpse of the bigger picture, the ultimate purpose of this connection? I am so incredibly excited to find out. This is seriously getting so good. Okay, so now after the 10 of Pentacles, which is like, yay, stability, we get Death. Okay, well that's a card. Okay, don't freak out. I know, death can sound scary, but honestly it's usually a really positive card. It's about transformation, endings, and new beginnings. It's like something has to die for something new to be born, you know. So after all that building with the 10 of Pentacles, it's like, what needs to be cleared away to make space for that amazing new foundation? Like, what old structures, what old beliefs, what old patterns need to be released so you can fully step into this incredible new chapter? And connecting it to the 5 of Swords and that conflict, perhaps this conflict was meant to clear the ground, burn away what no longer serves you. It had to happen so things could transform into this amazing new reality. Okay, deep breaths. Okay, so death. It's all about endings, right? But endings aren't always sad. Sometimes they're necessary. Sometimes they're even beautiful. Think about the leaves changing in the fall. They have to die and fall to the ground to nourish the soil for new growth in the spring. It's part of the natural cycle of life. And that's what this card is about. It's about recognizing that some things have to end so that new things can begin. And honestly, with twin flames, this can be a really powerful card. Because twin flame journeys are all about transformation. They're about shedding old layers, releasing old wounds, and becoming the best version of yourself. And sometimes, that means letting go of things that you thought you wanted or needed. Maybe it's a certain idea about what your relationship should look like. Maybe it's a certain expectation about how your twin flame should behave. Maybe it's even a certain identity that you've been clinging to. But death is saying that it's time to let go of all that. It's time to surrender to the process of transformation and trust that the universe has something even better in store for you. And remember that wheel of fortune, that major turning point. Death is like the ultimate turning point. It's the point where you completely let go of the past and embrace the future. It's the point where you step into your power and create the life you were always meant to live. And yeah, it can be scary. Change is always scary, right? But it's also incredibly exciting, because you never know what amazing things are waiting for you on the other side. Also, remember the 2 of Swords, feeling stuck and indecisive. Death comes and wipes the slate clean, clearing the way for a new path to unfold. This ending is what sets you free. Okay, so let's think about some specific scenarios here. Maybe you've been holding onto a relationship that's no longer serving you. Maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's a family relationship, maybe it's even a romantic relationship that isn't your twin flame. Death is saying that it's time to let go of that relationship. It's time to release the energy that's being drained from you and make space for new, more fulfilling connections. And this can be really hard, especially if you've been in that relationship for a long time. You might feel guilty, you might feel sad, you might even feel like you're betraying the other person. But death is saying that you need to prioritize your own well-being. You need to choose yourself, even if it's difficult. Because if you don't, you're going to stay stuck in a cycle of unhappiness and resentment. This doesn't mean you need to be mean or dramatic. But you deserve to feel good in relationships. Or maybe you've been clinging to a certain job or career path that's no longer fulfilling you. Maybe you've been feeling burnt out. Maybe you've been feeling uninspired. Maybe you've just been feeling like you're not living your purpose. Death is saying that it's time to make a change. It's time to leave that job or career path and pursue something that truly lights you up. And again, this can be scary. You might be worried about money. You might be worried about what other people will think. You might even be worried that you're not good enough to succeed in a new field. But death is saying that you have to trust your intuition. You have to believe in yourself. You have to take that leap of faith and pursue your dreams. And honestly, the universe will support you. It will provide you with the resources you need, the connections you need, and the opportunities you need to succeed. You just have to be willing to take the first step. Perhaps you need to release a limiting belief. You may not even know it's holding you back. It's become such a part of your life that you can't even see it anymore. But the death card suggests that there is a belief that has outworn its usefulness and must be released. Maybe you think you aren't worthy or love, or maybe you fear success. Whatever it is, know it's time to say goodbye. What about releasing control? Okay. Twin flame connections can be so intense, right? And it's so easy to get caught up in trying to control the situation. Trying to control your twin flame, trying to control the timing of your union, trying to control the outcome of your journey. But death is saying that you need to let go of all that control. You need to surrender to the process and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. This doesn't mean you should just sit back and do nothing. It means that you should focus on controlling what you can control, which is your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own actions. And let go of everything else. Trust that the universe has a plan for you, and that plan is even better than anything you could have imagined for yourself. I feel like this card can be a wake-up call about codependency. Okay, so what practical advice can we glean from this death card? First, acknowledge what needs to end. Don't try to resist it, don't try to cling to it. Just acknowledge that it's time to let go. Second, allow yourself to grieve. Endings can be painful even if they're necessary. Allow yourself to feel the sadness, the anger, the fear, the whatever feelings come up. Don't try to suppress them or ignore them. Just let them flow through you. Third, focus on the future. Once you've allowed yourself to grieve the past, it's time to start looking ahead. What do you want to create in your life? What kind of future do you want to build? Start setting goals, start making plans, start taking action. Fourth, trust the process. Transformation takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and trust that you're on the right path. Fifth, seek support. Don't try to go through this alone. Reach out to friends, family, or a therapist. Talk about what you're going through and ask for help when you need it. There are people who care about you and want to support you. Let them. Also, what about doing some sort of ritual to honor the ending? A releasing ceremony, perhaps. Write down everything you want to let go of and then burn the paper. Or create a small memorial, a symbolic gesture to show your respect for what has passed. It doesn't have to be morbid. It can be a celebration of the lessons you've learned and the growth you've experienced. This death card says that you are about to enter a new chapter with confidence and hope. This ending will make way for so many new opportunities. The death card really symbolizes the destruction of the unnecessary, allowing for complete and total renewal to occur. Embrace the opportunity to release your old identity so that you can be reborn into your divine self. This isn't just an ending. It is truly a transformation on the deepest levels. Okay, so we've gone through this huge journey, and it's been so intense. And honestly, this death card feels like a major turning point within the turning point. Something big is shifting. Something really important is ending. But what exactly is on the other side of this transformation? What new beginnings are waiting to be born? And what challenges might you face as you step into this unknown territory? I am so excited to see what the next cards reveal. I feel like we're about to get some serious clarity about the future. This is getting so good. Okay, deep breath, let's see what's next. Okay. So after all of that, after that crazy roller coaster of emotions and experiences, we finally arrive at the Page of Swords. And honestly, this feels like the perfect card to wrap things up. It's like after all that transformation, after all that inner work, what's next? What's the new energy coming in? And the Page of Swords. It's all about new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of communicating. It's about being curious, being brave, and stepping into this new chapter with an open mind. Like, think about it. We started with that Wheel of Fortune, right? That big turning point, that sense of destiny. And now, with the Page of Swords, it's like you're finally ready to take the reins. You're ready to steer the wheel in a new direction. You're not just a passenger anymore, you're the driver. And then we had the Lovers, that big choice about your twin flame connection. And the Page of Swords is like, okay, you made your choice. Now it's time to communicate that choice, to express your needs and desires, to create a relationship that's built on honesty and authenticity. It's about being clear about what you want and going after it with confidence. Remember that Two of Swords, feeling stuck and indecisive. The Page of Swords is like the antidote to that. It's about breaking free from that mental prison, removing the blindfold, and seeing things from a fresh perspective. It's about gathering information, exploring new possibilities, and making informed decisions. And then there was the Five of Swords, that conflict and tension. The Page of Swords is like, okay, you've learned from that conflict. You've grown from that experience. Now it's time to use your words wisely, to communicate with compassion and respect, to avoid unnecessary drama. It's about finding solutions, not creating more problems. And the High Priestess, that deep dive into your intuition. The Page of Swords is like, okay, you've connected with your inner wisdom. Now it's time to share that wisdom with the world. It's about expressing your truth, speaking your mind, and inspiring others to connect with their own intuition. And then we had the Ten of Pentacles, building that solid foundation. The Page of Swords is like, okay, you've created stability in your life. Now it's time to explore new opportunities, to expand your horizons, to take risks and see what's possible. It's about being open to new experiences and embracing the unknown. And finally, death. That big transformation, that necessary ending. The Page of Swords is like, okay, you've let go of the old. Now it's time to embrace the new. It's about starting fresh, with a clean slate, and creating a life that's aligned with your highest potential. So, the Page of Swords. It's all about new beginnings, new opportunities, and new ways of communicating. It's about being curious, being brave, and stepping into this new chapter with an open mind. This card often represents a messenger or news coming your way. It is a fresh, youthful energy that is full of excitement and anticipation. The possibilities are endless. Okay, so what does this mean for you specifically? Well, I feel like this is a time of great potential. You're on the verge of something big, something exciting, something that could change your life in amazing ways. But it's not just going to fall into your lap. You have to be proactive, you have to be open to new opportunities, and you have to be willing to take risks. Maybe there's a new job or career path that you've been considering. The Page of Swords is saying, go for it. Explore that possibility. Do your research, network with people in the field, and see if it's the right fit for you. Or maybe there's a new creative project that you've been wanting to start. The Page of Swords is saying, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Share your ideas with the world. You never know who might be inspired by your work. Or maybe there's a new relationship that you've been hesitant to pursue. The Page of Swords is saying, be open to love. Don't let fear hold you back. Take a chance and see what happens. But remember, this card is a sword. This means you need to be discerning and use your intellect to see through any deception or manipulation. The key is to be open-minded, to be curious, and to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to try new things, to meet new people, and to explore new possibilities. The universe is full of amazing opportunities, and they're all waiting for you to discover them. But the Page of Swords isn't just about taking action. It's also about communicating effectively. It's about using your words wisely to express your needs and desires, to connect with others, and to create positive change in the world. This means being honest with yourself and with others. It means speaking your truth, even when it's difficult. It means standing up for what you believe in, even when it's unpopular. It means using your voice to make a difference. The thing is to also be very mindful of how you say things. Swords can represent harsh words, but they can also represent the clarity that cuts through confusion. And with Aquamarine as your grounding crystal, you are being called to speak from the heart. Remember that Aquamarine is all about clear communication. So, this is a time to really focus on expressing yourself in a way that's both authentic and compassionate. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, but do it with kindness and respect. And listen to what others have to say, too. Be open to different perspectives, and be willing to learn from others. And honestly, this is especially important in your twin flame connection, because twin flame relationships can be so intense, so emotionally charged. And it's so easy to get caught up in misunderstandings and miscommunications. But the Page of Swords is reminding you that you have the power to create a more authentic and fulfilling relationship. You just have to be willing to communicate openly and honestly, to express your needs and desires, and to listen to what your twin flame has to say. This might mean having some difficult conversations. It might mean confronting some uncomfortable truths. But it's all worth it in the end, because the more honest and authentic you are with each other, the stronger and more fulfilling your connection will be. Remember what we said before. Sometimes conflict is what clears the air. I feel like the Page of Swords is also encouraging you to be playful and lighthearted in your communication. Don't take everything so seriously. Be willing to laugh, to joke, to tease each other. It's okay to have fun. And honestly, this can be a great way to diffuse tension and create a more positive atmosphere. If you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, try lightening the mood with a little humor. It can make a world of difference. Okay, so Page of Swords. New beginnings, new opportunities, new ways of communicating. It's about being curious, being brave, and stepping into this new chapter with an open mind. It's about expressing yourself authentically, connecting with others, and creating positive change in the world. This Page of Swords energy is all about learning and discovery. And with the Aquamarine as your grounding crystal, you have the power to navigate this new chapter with grace and ease. You have the wisdom, the strength, and the intuition to create the life you desire. You just have to believe in yourself and trust the process. So, my dear, beautiful friend, embrace this new energy. Embrace the possibilities that are waiting for you. Embrace the challenges that will help you grow. And most of all, embrace the love that surrounds you. You are a powerful, amazing being, and you are capable of anything you set your mind to. So go out there and create the life of your dreams. I am so excited to see what you accomplish. Okay, Pile 1, I'm so excited for you, and I hope you're excited for yourself too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this reading resonated, and I hope it gave you some clarity and guidance as you navigate your twin flame journey. Remember to stay grounded, stay open, and trust your intuition. Okay, so you picked the Jasper sphere, which is all about harmonizing and finding that balance, you know. So for this reading about your twin flame connection, think about balanced reflections, because that's the theme. It's about understanding the mirrored aspects within yourselves and creating equilibrium in your shared experiences. Ooh, I'm already getting chills. This is gonna be good. So the first card we have is the Tower. Woo, okay, buckle up, Buttercup, because this is intense, right off the bat. The Tower is all about sudden change, unexpected upheaval, like the rug being pulled out from under you. And in the context of a twin flame connection, this could mean a lot of things, right? It could be a sudden realization that shatters your perception of the relationship, or a major external event that forces you both to confront some hard truths. You know, something big is crumbling. Think about a structure that you thought was solid, completely collapsing. Maybe this is a belief system you had about love, about relationships, about your twin flame specifically. Maybe you thought everything was going in one direction, and then bam, something completely unexpected happens that just turns everything on its head. This isn't necessarily a bad thing though, okay? I know the Tower can seem scary, but it's often a necessary destruction to clear the way for something new and better. Think of it as demolishing an old building that's no longer safe or functional, so you can build something stronger and more resilient in its place. It's a painful but ultimately liberating process. In terms of your twin flame, this could be related to, external pressures, right? Maybe there's family disapproval or societal expectations that are weighing heavily on the connection. Or maybe it's internal stuff like your own fears and insecurities that are finally coming to the surface to be addressed. It could even be something as simple as a job change or a move that throws the relationship into disarray, forcing you both to reevaluate what you want and how you can make it work. The Jasper sphere, though, is super important here because it's about finding harmony amidst the chaos, you know. It's about grounding yourself and finding your center, even when everything around you is falling apart. So even though this tower moment might feel incredibly destabilizing, it's also an opportunity to find a new equilibrium, a new way of relating to yourself and to your twin flame. This isn't the end, sweetie. It's a wake-up call. Okay, so practically speaking, what could this look like? Well, maybe you and your twin flame have been avoiding a difficult conversation, right? And the tower moment is that conversation finally erupting, maybe in a heated argument or a painful confrontation. Or maybe you've been clinging to an idealized version of your twin flame, ignoring some red flags, and the tower is the moment when those red flags become impossible to ignore. Ouch! It could also be like a sudden separation, a breakup that feels completely devastating. But the key here is to remember that this separation, this destruction, is happening for a reason. It's forcing you both to look at yourselves, at the relationship, with new eyes. The Jasper sphere is asking you to find the lessons in the chaos, to understand what needs to be released, what needs to be healed, in order to move forward. Don't wallow, babe. Don't get stuck in the rubble, you know? It's easy to feel like everything is hopeless, but the tower is actually a catalyst for growth. It's shaking things up so that you can rebuild on a stronger foundation. Think about what aspects of the relationship were built on shaky ground. Were you being honest with each other? Were you communicating effectively? Were you both truly aligned in your values and goals? The tower is exposing those weaknesses so that you can address them. Okay, so the biggest thing here is to not resist the change, right? Embrace the chaos, even though it's scary. Trust that this destruction is happening for your highest good, and for the highest good of the connection. The Jasper sphere is there to support you, to help you find your footing amidst the rubble. Focus on grounding yourself, on connecting with your inner strength, and on finding the lessons in the chaos. And remember, this isn't just about the relationship with your twin flame, it's also about your relationship with yourself. The tower can be a powerful catalyst for personal growth, forcing you to confront your own shadows and insecurities. It's an opportunity to become a stronger, more authentic version of yourself. So, as painful as it may be, try to see this tower moment as a gift, a chance to rebuild your life and your relationship on a more solid foundation. Okay, deep breaths because, that was a lot. But trust me, it gets better. And that brings us to the next card, which is the Page of Swords. Okay, so after the tower comes crashing down, we have the Page of Swords, which is this breath of fresh air, this new perspective, you know? The Page of Swords is all about curiosity, about seeking knowledge, about cutting through the BS and getting to the truth. This card often represents a young, energetic person who's eager to learn and to express themselves. But the Page of Swords can also be a bit impulsive, a bit reckless, prone to speaking before thinking, you know. So in the context of your twin flame connection, this card suggests that after the upheaval of the tower, there's a need for clarity, for honest communication, and for a willingness to see things from a new perspective. It's about gathering information, about analyzing the situation, and about making informed decisions. The Page of Swords is carrying a sword, right? Which represents the power of intellect and the ability to cut through illusions. But the page is also young and inexperienced, so there's a need for caution and discernment. You don't want to go charging into battle without a plan, you know? You need to gather your facts, assess the situation, and then act accordingly. So how does this relate to the tower moment? Well, after the destruction, there's a need to understand what happened, why it happened, and what you can learn from it. The Page of Swords encourages you to ask questions, to seek answers, and to challenge your assumptions. Don't just accept things at face value, you know? Dig deeper, do your research, and find the truth. The Jasper sphere is helping you find balance in your quest for knowledge, ensuring that you're not getting carried away by emotions or biases. Practically speaking, This could mean doing some serious soul-searching, right? Journaling, meditating, talking to a therapist, anything that helps you gain clarity and understanding. It could also mean having some honest conversations with your twin flame, asking them difficult questions, and listening to their perspective. But remember, the Page of Swords can be a bit blunt, so be mindful of your tone and your delivery. You want to communicate clearly and honestly, but without being unnecessarily harsh or critical. It's like you're trying to piece together the puzzle after the tower scattered all the pieces, right? The Page of Swords is helping you find the missing pieces, the ones that will give you a clearer picture of what happened and where you need to go. But remember, the page is still learning, still growing. So be patient with yourself and with your twin flame. You're both on a journey of discovery, and it's okay to make mistakes along the way. The key here is to stay open-minded, to be willing to consider different perspectives, and to challenge your own beliefs. The tower shook things up, and the Page of Swords is helping you pick up the pieces and put them back together in a new and improved way. This card also suggests that communication is key. Talk to your twin flame, be honest about your feelings, and listen to their concerns. But remember, communication isn't just about talking, it's also about listening. Be present, be attentive, and try to understand where your twin flame is coming from. The Jasper sphere is reminding you to find balance in your communication, to speak your truth with kindness and compassion. Don't let your emotions get the best of you, you know. Take a step back, breathe, and respond with clarity and intention. The Page of Swords is also about embracing new ideas and new possibilities. After the tower, everything has changed, so you can't go back to the way things were before. You need to be willing to explore new paths, to try new approaches, and to create a new vision for your relationship. This might mean letting go of old expectations, of old patterns, and of old beliefs. It's about creating a new foundation for your connection, one that's based on honesty, authenticity, and mutual respect. The Jasper sphere is supporting you in this process, helping you find balance and harmony as you navigate these new territories. Okay, so we've gone through the destruction and the clarity, and now we're finally ready for the good stuff. And that brings us to the final card, which is the Lovers. Yes. Okay, so after the chaos of the tower and the claritising of the Page of Swords, we arrive at the Lovers, which is like the heart of the twin flame connection, right? This card represents choice, harmony, union, and alignment. It's about making conscious decisions that are in alignment with your soul's purpose, and about creating a balanced and fulfilling relationship. The Lovers card often depicts a couple standing naked before God or nature, symbolizing vulnerability, authenticity, and a deep connection to the divine. It's about seeing each other for who you truly are, flaws and all, and accepting each other unconditionally. In the context of your twin flame connection, the Lovers suggests that after navigating the challenges and lessons of the Tower and the Page of Swords, you have the potential to create a truly harmonious and fulfilling union. But it's not automatic, okay? It requires conscious effort, clear communication, and a willingness to choose each other, day after day. The Lovers is about making a choice, right? It's about choosing love over fear, choosing connection over separation, and choosing authenticity over pretense. It's about aligning your values, your goals, and your desires with your twin flame, and creating a shared vision for the future. The Jasper sphere is supporting you in this process, helping you find balance and harmony as you make these important decisions. But here's the thing, the Lovers isn't just about romantic love, okay? It's also about self-love. You can't truly love another person until you love yourself, flaws and all. So, this card is also a reminder to nurture your own well-being, to honor your own needs, and to prioritize your own happiness. The Tower and the Page of Swords were both about personal growth, and the Lovers is about bringing that growth into the relationship. It's about creating a connection that's based on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. Like, practically speaking, this could mean committing to regular date nights, right? Or having honest and open conversations about your needs and desires. It could also mean setting healthy boundaries, respecting each other's individuality and supporting each other's dreams. But the most important thing is to choose each other every day, to make a conscious decision to prioritize the relationship, even when things get tough. The Jasper sphere is reminding you to find balance in your commitment, to nurture both your individual needs and the needs of the relationship. The Lovers is also about embracing your differences, okay? You and your twin flame are two unique individuals with different strengths, different weaknesses, and different perspectives. And that's a good thing. Your differences can complement each other, creating a more well-rounded and dynamic relationship. But it requires acceptance, understanding, and a willingness to compromise. Don't try to change your twin flame, you know. Embrace them for who they are, and allow them to embrace you for who you are. The Jasper sphere is helping you find balance in your acceptance, to honor both your similarities and your differences. This card also suggests that you and your twin flame have a shared purpose, a mission that you're meant to fulfill together. This could be anything from raising a family to starting a business to making a difference in the world. The key is to find something that you're both passionate about, something that aligns with your values and goals, and something that allows you to use your unique gifts and talents to make a positive impact. The Jasper sphere is supporting you in this process, helping you find balance in your purpose, to create a shared vision that's both fulfilling and meaningful. Okay, so, the Lovers is the culmination of the journey that started with the Tower, right? It's about taking the lessons you learned from the destruction, the clarity you gained from the Page of Swords, and using them to create a truly harmonious and fulfilling connection. It's about choosing love, choosing connection, and choosing authenticity, day after day. And with the Jasper sphere by your side, you have the power to create a balanced and beautiful relationship that honors both your individual needs and the needs of the connection. This is such a juicy reading. I can't wait to pull more cards for you. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, the Lovers. After all that chaos and after seeking clarity with the Page of Swords, there's the potential for union. And now we have the Two of Swords. Okay. This is interesting because it's after all that, there's still this feeling of being stuck, you know. This card is all about difficult decisions, about being at a crossroads, about feeling like you're caught between a rock and a hard place. It's you've got these two options, right? And you just can't decide which way to go. In the card, there's this person blindfolded, holding two swords, right? They can't see clearly, and they're trying to balance these two opposing forces. And in the context of your twin flame journey, this could mean that you're facing a major decision about the relationship, but you're feeling completely torn, you know? Part of you wants one thing, and another part of you wants something else, and you just can't reconcile those two desires. It's you've got the Tower moment that shook everything up, then the Page of Swords trying to find the answers, and then the Lovers showing the potential, but the Two of Swords is hold on, not so fast, you know? There's still some inner work to do. Maybe all that clarity seeking from the Page of Swords hit a roadblock. You thought you were getting somewhere, but now you're just more confused than ever. And remember that Jasper sphere. It's all about harmonizing, right? So this card is really highlighting the need for inner harmony. You can't make a clear decision until you find that balance within yourself, until you reconcile those opposing forces. It's the Jasper sphere is whispering, find your center, find your balance, and the answer will come. So, how does this stalemate affect the potential union of the Lovers? Well, it puts things on pause, right? It creates this sense of uncertainty, of not knowing where the relationship is headed. It's you're standing at the doorway to that beautiful garden of the Lovers, but you can't quite bring yourself to step inside. You're afraid of making the wrong choice, of ruining everything, so you just stay put, stuck in this state of indecision. Maybe you're afraid of committing fully, of letting go of your independence, you know. Or maybe you're afraid of getting hurt again, of repeating past mistakes. Whatever it is, this fear is holding you back from embracing the full potential of the connection. The Two of Swords is asking you to go inward, to really examine your own heart and mind, to understand what's driving this indecision. What are the fears that are holding you back? What are the conflicting desires that are pulling you in different directions? And remember, the Jasper sphere is all about mirrored aspects, right? So this could also be about seeing those mirrored aspects within yourself and your twin flame. Maybe you're both struggling with the same fears, the same doubts, the same insecurities. And until you both acknowledge those things, it's going to be really hard to move forward. This card can also represent a situation where you're avoiding a difficult conversation. Maybe there's something you need to talk about with your twin flame, but you're afraid of what might happen. You're afraid of stirring up conflict, of hurting their feelings, so you just keep it bottled up inside. But the Two of Swords is saying that avoidance isn't the answer, you know? You can't just pretend the problem doesn't exist. You need to address it head-on, even if it's uncomfortable. You need to have that honest and open conversation, even if it's scary. And remember the Page of Swords, that clarity-seeking energy is still important here. You need to gather all the information, weigh all the options, and then make a decision based on logic and intuition. But the key is to not get stuck in analysis paralysis. You know, don't overthink it. At some point, you just need to trust your gut and take a leap of faith. So, practically speaking, what can you do to break through this stalemate? Well, journaling can be really helpful, right? Just writing down your thoughts and feelings, exploring your fears and desires, can help you gain clarity and perspective. Meditation can also be really powerful. Just sitting in silence, connecting with your inner self, can help you find that inner peace and balance that you need to make a clear decision. Talking to a trusted friend or therapist can also be beneficial. Sometimes, just getting an outside perspective can help you see things in a new light. They can offer guidance and support and help you work through your conflicting emotions. But ultimately, the decision is yours, you know. You're the one who has to live with the consequences, so you need to choose the path that feels right for you. Trust your intuition, listen to your heart, and don't be afraid to take a risk. The Jasper sphere is reminding you that harmony isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about finding balance amidst the chaos. It's about acknowledging the opposing forces, but not letting them control you. It's about finding a way to integrate those forces into a cohesive whole. This card could also mean that you are not seeing the full picture, or that you're refusing to see a truth that is right in front of you. You're blocking something out of fear, likely. Consider this as a possibility and ask yourself what that truth might be and why you're resisting it. If you continue to stay in this stalemate, you risk missing the opportunity for that beautiful union that the Lover's card represents. You risk letting fear control your life, and you risk settling for something less than you deserve. But if you can find the courage to face your fears, to make a decision, to take a leap of faith, you have the potential to create a truly extraordinary relationship. A relationship that's based on love, trust, and authenticity. The Jasper sphere is supporting you in this process, helping you find the strength and courage you need to break through this stalemate and move forward towards a more fulfilling union. Okay, so we're still not at the end of the story, right? This is just another chapter. And what's really interesting is how this card is making us stop and consider. It wants you to really ask yourself the tough questions before proceeding. This card is definitely a call to action, and it means you're being asked to make a choice. Like, a real one. So, what's next? What other guidance do the cards have for you? I'm so excited to see what comes up next. Okay, so, after all that, we have the Death card. Whoa, don't freak out, okay? Seriously, it's not as scary as it sounds. I know the image can be a little intense, but trust me, this card is more about transformation than actual, death. It's about endings, yes, but endings that pave the way for brand new beginnings. It's about shedding what no longer serves you so you can step into a more authentic and empowered version of yourself. It's like the ultimate cleanse, Like out with the old, in with the new. So generally speaking, the Death card represents a major life transition, a significant ending of a cycle, or the release of something that's been holding you back. It can be a relationship, a job, a belief system, or even just an old habit. Whatever it is, it's time to let it go. It's like the universe is saying, okay, honey, you've learned what you needed to learn from this experience, now it's time to move on. And Resisting this change is just gonna make things harder in the long run. Imagine like a snake shedding its skin. It might be uncomfortable for a little while, but it's necessary for growth. If the snake tried to hold onto its old skin, it would just get all cramped and restricted, and it wouldn't be able to move freely. It's the same with us, you know. We need to shed those old layers of ourselves so we can evolve and expand. The Death card is all about embracing that process. It's about trusting that even though something is ending, something even better is on the horizon. And remember the Jasper sphere. It's all about harmonizing, right? So this card is really emphasizing the need to find balance even in the midst of these big changes. It's about acknowledging the ending, honoring the past, but also staying grounded in the present and open to the future. It's about trusting that even though things might feel chaotic or uncertain right now, you have the inner strength and resilience to get through it. It's like the Jasper sphere is whispering, "You've got this, babe. Find your center, stay grounded, and trust the process." Okay, so how does this Death card connect to everything else we've seen so far? Well, remember the Two of Swords. All that indecision, all that feeling stuck. The Death card is like, okay, enough is enough. It's time to make a choice. That stalemate might be preventing a necessary ending, you know? You might be clinging to something that's no longer serving you, out of fear or habit or whatever, but the Death card is saying that it's time to let it go. It's time to cut the cord and move on. And it ties back to the Tower, right? The Tower was all about sudden destruction, and the Death card is about the aftermath of that destruction, about picking up the pieces and creating something new. It's about recognizing that sometimes things need to fall apart so that something better can come together. It's like the Tower was the earthquake, and the Death card is the process of rebuilding after the earthquake. And even though it might be painful, even though it might be hard, it's ultimately a chance to create a stronger, more resilient foundation. And what about the lovers? That potential for union. Well, the Death card is saying that in order to truly embrace that union, some things need to die away first. Maybe it's old patterns of relating, or old expectations, or old wounds that need to be healed. Whatever it is, the Death card is clearing the way for a deeper, more authentic connection. It's like, you can't build a new house on a rotten foundation, right? You need to tear down the old house first, and then build something new and strong. The Death card is all about tearing down those old foundations so you can build a relationship that's truly aligned with your soul's purpose. The Jasper sphere is really important here because it's helping you find the harmony in all of this change. It's helping you see that even though something is ending, something new and beautiful is waiting to be born. It's helping you stay grounded and centered as you navigate these transitions, so you don't get swept away by fear or uncertainty. It's like the Jasper sphere is your anchor in the storm, your guiding light in the darkness. So, like, practically speaking, what does this all mean for you and your twin flame? Well, it could mean that you're facing a major turning point in the relationship. Maybe you're realizing that something needs to change, that the way things have been going just isn't sustainable anymore. Maybe you're considering breaking up, or taking a break, or just redefining the relationship in some way. Or like, maybe one of you is going through a major personal transformation, and that's affecting the dynamic of the relationship. Whatever it is, the Death card is urging you to embrace this change, to not resist it, to trust that it's happening for a reason. It's like the universe is giving you an opportunity to create something even better, something that's more aligned with your true selves and your shared purpose. But in order to do that, you need to be willing to let go of the old. This card is also a lot about personal growth, okay? It's about shedding old identities, old beliefs, and old patterns that no longer serve you. It's about stepping into a more authentic and empowered version of yourself. Maybe you've been clinging to an image of yourself that's no longer accurate, you know? Like, maybe you've been trying to be someone you're not, in order to please others or to fit in. But the Death card is saying that it's time to let go of that facade, to embrace your true self, flaws and all. It's like you're shedding that old skin and revealing the beautiful, radiant soul underneath. Maybe you've been holding on to old wounds or traumas that are preventing you from moving forward. The Death card is giving you the opportunity to heal those wounds, to release that pain, and to step into a place of greater peace and wholeness. It's like you're finally able to forgive yourself and others, and to let go of the resentment and bitterness that's been holding you back. And the Jasper sphere is helping you find balance and harmony in this process. It's reminding you to be gentle with yourself, to be patient with yourself, and to trust that you're exactly where you need to be. It's like the Jasper sphere is your loving companion on this journey of self-discovery, your cheerleader, your confidant. I know this can all sound a little intense, but I really want to emphasize that the Death card is ultimately a positive card, okay? It's a card of transformation, of renewal, of hope. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you so you can create space for something even better. It's about embracing change, trusting the process, and stepping into your true power. And with the Jasper sphere by your side, you have all the support you need to navigate this journey with grace and ease. Okay, so, Hugh, we've gone through a lot, right? The Tower, the Page of Swords, the Lovers, Two of Swords, and now Death. But we're not done yet. We have one more card to pull, and I'm so excited to see what it is. I have a feeling it's going to tie everything together to give us a final message of guidance and hope. I'm seriously on the edge of my seat here. What's the final piece of the puzzle? Let's find out. Okay, so, after all that intensity, we get the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, this is actually really interesting because it's after all this talk about choice and transformation, it's the universe is stepping in to say, okay, it's not all up to you, you know. The Wheel of Fortune is all about cycles, about destiny, about the ups and downs of life. It's about understanding that everything is constantly changing, and that what goes up must come down, and vice versa. It's about recognizing that you're not always in control, and that sometimes you just have to surrender to the flow of life. Go with it. In the card, there's this wheel, right? And there are all these different figures clinging to it, some rising, some falling. And that's kind of how life is, right? Sometimes you're on top of the world, and sometimes you're at the bottom, but the wheel keeps turning, and things are always changing. In the context of your twin flame journey, this could mean that you're entering a new phase, a new cycle, and that things are about to shift in a major way. But it's important to remember that you're not totally in control of what happens. There are forces at play that are bigger than you, and you just have to trust that everything is unfolding as it's meant to. Remember that Jasper sphere? It's all about harmonizing, right? So this card is really emphasizing the need to find balance even when things are changing rapidly. It's about staying grounded, staying centered, and trusting that even though you might not know what's coming next, you have the inner strength to handle whatever life throws your way. The Wheel of Fortune is whispering, "Trust the universe, babe. Everything is happening for a reason, even if you can't see it right now." Okay, so how does this connect to everything else we've seen so far? Well, remember the Death card? All that talk about transformation and letting go. The Wheel of Fortune is like the next step in that process. It's about embracing the new cycle that's beginning after you've shed the old. It's about recognizing that even though something has ended, something new and exciting is on the horizon. It's like the Death card was the clearing of the ground, and the Wheel of Fortune is the planting of the new seeds. And it ties back to the Two of Swords, right? All that indecision, all that feeling stuck. The Wheel of Fortune is okay, time to move. You can't stay stuck forever. It's about realizing that sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith, even if you don't know where you're going to land. It's about trusting that the universe will catch you if you fall, and that even if things don't go exactly as planned, everything will work out in the end. And what about the Lovers? That potential for union. Well, the Wheel of Fortune is saying that the timing of that union is not entirely up to you. There are cosmic forces at play, and you just have to be patient and trust that things will unfold when the time is right. It's about surrendering to the divine timing of the universe, and knowing that even if things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like, everything is still moving forward. The Wheel of Fortune is helping you find the harmony in all of this change. It's helping you see that even though things might feel chaotic or unpredictable right now, there's a deeper order at work. It's helping you stay grounded and centered as you navigate these transitions, so you don't get swept away by fear or uncertainty. It's like the Wheel of Fortune is your reminder that life is a journey, not a destination, and that the most important thing is to enjoy the ride. So, practically speaking, what does this all mean for you and your twin flame? Well, it could mean that you're about to experience some major shifts in the relationship. Maybe things are going to start moving really quickly, or maybe things are going to slow down. Maybe you're going to experience some unexpected challenges, or maybe you're going to experience some unexpected blessings. Whatever it is, the Wheel of Fortune is urging you to embrace the change, to not resist it, to trust that it's happening for a reason. The Wheel of Fortune is also a reminder that you're not alone in this journey. You have the support of the universe, of your spirit guides, of your angels, of your twin flame, and of all the people who love and care about you. You're surrounded by love and support, and you have the inner strength to handle whatever comes your way. It's like the universe is wrapping you in a warm embrace, telling you that everything is going to be okay. Maybe you've been feeling like you're in a rut, like things have been stagnant for a while. The Wheel of Fortune is saying that that's about to change. The wheel is turning, and things are about to start moving again. It's like you're about to get a fresh start, a new opportunity, a chance to create the life you've always dreamed of. But it's important to remember that you still have a role to play in all of this. You can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. You need to be proactive, you need to take action, you need to make choices that are aligned with your values and your goals. The Wheel of Fortune is giving you the energy and the momentum to move forward, but it's up to you to steer the ship. The Jasper sphere is reminding you to stay grounded, to stay centered, and to stay true to yourself as you navigate these changes. It's reminding you to find balance in your life, to nurture your mind, body, and spirit, and to connect with your inner wisdom. It's like the Jasper sphere is your compass, guiding you on your path, helping you make the right choices, and reminding you that you are always loved and supported. I know this can all feel a little overwhelming, but I really want to emphasize that the Wheel of Fortune is ultimately a positive card, okay? It's a card of hope, of opportunity, of new beginnings. It's about trusting the universe, embracing change, and stepping into your true power. And with the Jasper sphere by your side, you have all the support you need to navigate this journey with grace and ease. The last thing that I feel like the Wheel of Fortune wants you to know is that you have to expect that, sometimes, things are just going to be out of your control. And that's okay. It's part of the dance of life, but what you can control is how you respond to those situations. You can choose to react with fear and anxiety, or you can choose to react with trust and faith. You can choose to resist the change, or you can choose to embrace it. The choice is always yours. The best thing you can do is to surrender to the flow of life, trust that everything is happening for a reason, and focus on what you can control. Focus on your own thoughts, feelings, and actions, and let the universe take care of the rest. The Jasper sphere is reminding you that you are always safe, always loved, and always supported. It's reminding you that you have the inner strength to handle whatever comes your way, and that you are always guided and protected. So, trust the journey, babe, trust the universe, and trust yourself. Everything is going to be okay. Seriously, trust that. Okay, so, Hugh, we finally made it. We've pulled all the cards, and we've gotten so much juicy information. But the reading isn't quite over yet. Now, we need to put it all together, to create a cohesive story, and to give you some clear and actionable steps that you can take to move forward. So, are you ready to put it all together? I am. Okay, so after the Wheel of Fortune, spinning and spinning, we get the Four of Cups. Okay, that's interesting. It's not exactly what I was expecting, to be honest. I mean, with the Wheel of Fortune, I was thinking things were gonna be moving forward, right? But the Four of Cups is kinda stagnant. It's like someone sitting there, arms crossed, looking all bored and disinterested, while someone's offering them cups. So what's that all about? Okay, so generally speaking, the Four of Cups represents apathy, introspection, missed opportunities. It's about being so caught up in your own thoughts and feelings that you're blind to the gifts that are being offered to you. It's about feeling dissatisfied with what you have, even when you have plenty. It's like you're so focused on what's lacking in your life that you can't appreciate what's already there. So how does this, connect to everything else? It's got to, right? Well, let's see. Remember the tower, all that destruction and upheaval. Maybe the Four of Cups is about feeling, overwhelmed by the fallout from the tower. Maybe you're just so exhausted from all the drama that you just don't even care anymore. You're just whatever. I can't even deal with this right now. And then, the Page of Swords seeking clarity. Maybe the Four of Cups is about realizing that, all that seeking hasn't really gotten you anywhere. Maybe you've asked all the questions, you've analyzed all the angles, and you're still just as confused as ever. And then you're just okay, I'm done, I'm over it. Okay, but what about the lovers? I mean, that's still got to be in the mix. That, potential, right? Could the Four of Cups mean that you're, missing opportunities to connect with your twin flame? Are you so focused on your own stuff, your own feelings, that you're not really seeing what they're offering you? Maybe they're trying to reach out, trying to connect, but you're just too caught up in your own head to notice. And then there's the Two of Swords. All that indecision, all that feeling stuck. Maybe the Four of Cups is about, being so paralyzed by indecision that you're just missing out on life, you know? You're so afraid of making the wrong choice that you're not making any choice at all. And the Death card, all that transformation. Maybe the Four of Cups is about resisting that transformation, you know? Maybe you're so comfortable in your old ways, even if they're not really serving you, that you're just not willing to let go. And then we got that Wheel of Fortune. And it is about cycles, the ups and downs, right? The Four of Cups could be a moment of pause in that cycle. Maybe it's a moment of reflection before the wheel turns again. It might be a sign that you're not fully engaging with the opportunities that are coming your way, that you're, stuck in a rut, or that you're just not appreciating what you have. It's almost like you are being offered all these new opportunities that are coming with the turning of the wheel, but you are too stuck in your own head, or too focused on the negative, to see them or accept them. It's like the universe is trying to give you all these amazing gifts, but you're just sitting there, arms crossed, saying, "Nah, I'm good." So, in the context of your twin flame connection, the Four of Cups could mean a few different things, right? Maybe you're feeling disillusioned with the connection. Maybe you had all these high hopes and expectations, but things haven't really turned out the way you thought they would. And now you're just hey, is this really worth it? Or maybe you're feeling resentful, you know? Maybe you feel you're putting in all the effort and your twin flame isn't reciprocating. And you're just why am I even trying? Maybe you're feeling you deserve more than what you're getting, or that you're just not being appreciated. This could be about unmet needs or feeling emotionally neglected. I hate to say it, but maybe you're taking your twin flame for granted. It's easy to get comfortable and forget to appreciate the person who is right in front of you. It could also be that you're so focused on the past, on old wounds and hurts, that you're not able to see the potential for the future. Maybe you're holding onto resentment or bitterness, and it's clouding your vision. The Four of Cups could be a sign that you need to let go of the past and focus on the present moment. Or maybe you're just feeling burned out, you know. Maybe you've been working so hard on the connection, trying to make things work, that you're just completely exhausted. You've given so much of yourself that you have nothing left to give. It's you've been climbing this mountain and you're finally at the top, but instead of enjoying the view, you're just sitting there okay, I'm done. I need a break. And so you're missing the view, the point of it all. The Four of Cups is a reminder that it's important to take care of yourself, to recharge your batteries, and to prioritize your own well-being. But it's also a reminder that you can't just stay in that state of apathy forever. You need to find a way to reconnect with your passion, with your joy, and with your purpose. See, the thing is, the Four of Cups isn't necessarily a bad card, okay? It's just a warning. It's a sign that you need to, shake things up a little bit to get out of your comfort zone and to start appreciating the good things in your life. It's about recognizing that you have the power to change your situation, to create a more fulfilling and meaningful connection with your twin flame. It's It's about taking responsibility for your own happiness and not waiting for someone else to come along and fix things for you. Remember, it's important to also consider that perhaps you're overthinking things. Going all the way back to the Page of Swords, you were tasked with gaining clarity, and now, with the Four of Cups, it seems you may have gotten caught up in the details, causing you to be emotionally unavailable. So again, what is it that you're missing because of that? It's like the universe is offering you these amazing opportunities, these incredible gifts, but you're just too busy complaining to notice. And the Jasper sphere is really important here, because it's about finding harmony, right? And you can't find harmony if you're just stuck in a state of apathy and dissatisfaction. You need to find a way to balance your needs with the needs of the relationship, to balance your expectations with reality, and to balance your focus on the negative with an appreciation for the positive. You need to find that equilibrium. It's about understanding the mirrored aspects. So, what can you do about it? Well, the first step is to just become aware of it, right? To recognize that you're in this Four of Cups energy, and to acknowledge that you need to make a change. Then, you can start to, actively look for the good things in your life, to express gratitude for what you have, and to focus on the positive aspects of your twin flame connection. What are you grateful for? What are you proud of? What do you appreciate about your twin flame? Ask yourself some tough questions. Are you being realistic in your expectations of yourself, your twin flame, and the connection? Are you focusing too much on what's lacking and not enough on what you have? Are you truly open to receiving love and support from your twin flame, or are you pushing them away? You have to be radically honest here, babe. And this could mean you're too focused on yourself and ignoring the other person. Are you being considerate, or are you draining? It's also about taking action, right? Don't just sit there and wait for things to change. Get out there and do something. Reconnect with your passions, pursue your goals, and create a life that you love. The more fulfilled you are as an individual, the more you'll have to offer to the relationship. Try something new with your twin flame. Break out of your routine. Do something spontaneous and fun. It can help reignite that spark and remind you why you fell in love in the first place. And remember, it's okay to ask for help. If you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed, reach out to a trusted friend, a therapist, or a spiritual advisor. Sometimes, just talking things through with someone else can help you gain clarity and perspective. The Four of Cups is a reminder that you don't have to go through this alone. This is really about remembering that everything is connected, so you need to be present. You need to check yourself and ground yourself, and you need to take advantage of these offerings, because before you know it, the wheel keeps on turning. You don't want to let these blessings slip through your fingers. Okay, so, that's the Four of Cups in a nutshell. It's a card about apathy, introspection, and missed opportunities. But it's also a card about potential, about recognizing what you have and taking action to create a more fulfilling life and a more meaningful twin flame connection. Remember, you're not stuck. You have the power to change your situation, to embrace the opportunities that are being offered to you, and to create a life that's aligned with your soul's purpose. I wonder how it all wraps up, though. I am dying to see what card comes up next. Okay, let's see what other messages are waiting for you. Okay, babe, so we've been on a journey, right? The tower came crashing down, the Page of Swords was searching for answers. The lovers showed us the potential. The Two of Swords had us stuck in indecision. Death forced us to let go. The Wheel of Fortune reminded us that life is cyclical. And then the Four of Cups had us feeling all apathetic and blah, what is even the point? But now, finally, we have the High Priestess. Ooh, I'm so excited about this because this is the culmination of everything. This is where it all comes together. This card is like a sigh of relief and knowing. Okay, so the High Priestess is all about intuition, inner wisdom, and the subconscious mind. She's the keeper of secrets, the guardian of the unseen realms. She's the one who knows what's really going on beneath the surface. She's sitting there, all serene and mysterious, and she's saying, "Trust yourself, babe. You already know the answer." She's the embodiment of feminine energy, of receptivity, of allowing. She's not out there charging ahead and making things happen. She's like tuned in, listening, and receiving guidance from the divine. She's super connected to her inner knowing and the spiritual world, and she's not afraid to trust that intuition, you know? It's like she's got this deep well of wisdom inside of her, and she knows exactly what to do, exactly when to do it. She's the quiet whisper inside that always knows the truth, even when the world is loud and chaotic. The High Priestess urges you to go within, to connect with your own intuition, and to trust your inner guidance. It's about silencing the noise of the outside world and listening to that still, small voice inside of you. What is your intuition telling you about your twin flame connection? What are your dreams trying to tell you? What are your gut feelings telling you? Pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that are showing up in your life. The universe is always communicating with you, but you have to be open to receiving the messages. This is about trusting that you have all the answers within you. You don't need to look outside of yourself for validation or guidance. Everything you need is already there, inside of you. The High Priestess is a reminder that you are a powerful, intuitive being, and you have the ability to create the life you want. This card is like the ultimate validation that you're on the right path. You're not crazy, you're not imagining things, you're not being led astray. Your intuition is guiding you, and it's leading you exactly where you need to be. The High Priestess is also about embracing your own unique gifts and talents. You have something special to offer the world, and it's time to share it. What are you passionate about? What are you good at? What makes your heart sing? Don't be afraid to shine your light, even if it's different from everyone else's. The world needs your unique perspective, your unique gifts, and your unique talents. You are a valuable and important part of this world, and you have something special to offer. Okay, so how does this High Priestess energy connect to all the other cards we've pulled? Well, think about the Tower, right? All that destruction. The High Priestess is about finding the wisdom in the chaos. It's about understanding that even though things might fall apart, there's always a deeper meaning, a hidden purpose. The High Priestess helps you see the lessons in the rubble, to understand why things happen the way they did, and to use that knowledge to build a stronger foundation for the future. And the Page of Swords, seeking clarity. The High Priestess is the ultimate source of clarity. But it's not about intellectual understanding, it's about intuitive knowing. It's about trusting your gut, even when you don't have all the facts. The High Priestess helps you cut through the BS and see the truth, even when it's hidden beneath layers of illusion. And she is the opposite of the analytical, head-based way that the Page of Swords was approaching it, you know? She's all heart, all feeling, all intuition. She's just knowing. And the Lovers, that potential for union. The High Priestess is about understanding that true union comes from within. You can't truly connect with another person until you've connected with yourself. The High Priestess helps you heal your own wounds, to love yourself unconditionally, and to embrace your own authenticity. And that makes you ready to attract a partner who reflects that same level of self-love and authenticity. It's you have to be whole in order to attract someone who's also whole. And she tells you to trust yourself and your connection. The Two of Swords, all that indecision. The High Priestess is girl, just listen to your intuition. You already know what to do. She helps you cut through the confusion and make a decision that's aligned with your soul's purpose. You don't need to weigh all the pros and cons. You don't need to overthink it. Just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and listen to that still, small voice inside of you. It knows the way. And death, that scary transformation. The High Priestess is about trusting that even though something is ending, something new and beautiful is waiting to be born. She helps you embrace the change, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to step into a new chapter of your life with confidence and grace. It's about understanding that endings are just beginnings in disguise. And she knows this transition is divinely guided. And then the Wheel of Fortune, all those cycles. The High Priestess is about understanding that even though life is constantly changing, there's a deeper order at work. She helps you find your center amidst the chaos, to stay grounded and connected to your inner wisdom, no matter what's going on around you. You can't control the wheel, but you can control how you respond to it, and that's where the High Priestess comes in. And finally, the Four of Cups, all that apathy. The High Priestess is about reawakening your passion, reconnecting with your joy, and remembering what makes your heart sing. She helps you see the beauty and abundance that's all around you, and to appreciate the gifts that are being offered to you. It's about opening your heart and receiving the love and support that's available to you. You're not bored, you're tapped in. Okay, so, practically speaking, what does this all mean for you and your twin flame? Well, it means it's time to trust your intuition about this connection, okay? If you're feeling drawn to this person, if you're feeling a deep sense of connection, then don't ignore it. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Trust that your intuition is guiding you, and that this connection is meant to be. And that Jasper sphere is there, supporting you, harmonizing all this, helping you find your center. It also means it's time to embrace your own power and authenticity. Don't try to be someone you're not in order to please your twin flame. Be true to yourself, be honest about your feelings, and let your light shine. The more authentic you are, the more magnetic you'll be to your twin flame, and the deeper your connection will become. It means trusting that everything is unfolding as it's meant to. Don't try to force things, don't try to control the outcome. Just surrender to the flow of life, trust that the universe has a plan for you, and know that everything will work out in the end. Be patient, be persistent, and trust that you are always guided and protected. You got this, babe. You are a powerful, intuitive, and radiant being, and you have the ability to create a life that's aligned with your soul's purpose. Trust yourself, trust your journey, and trust that everything is going to be okay. It's all harmonizing for you. Okay, my friend, Fluorite star pile. This crystal is all about awakening, and your reading is themed around illuminated pathways, which is just so perfect because it's all about discovering hidden truths and ascending to new levels of awareness in your twin flame journey. And wow, these cards, the Star, Nine of Cups, and the Tower. It's like buckle up, Buttercup, because something big is about to happen. Let's jump right into these cards, okay? First up is the Star. Oh, I love the Star. It's all about hope, inspiration, faith, renewal. It's that feeling of everything is going to be okay, especially after a really rough patch. With the Fluorite Star, it's like your intuition is supercharged right now, leading you towards healing and a deeper understanding of yourself and, yeah, probably your twin flame connection. It's like you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're feeling this incredible sense of peace and optimism. When it comes to your twin flame journey, this card suggests a period of healing and reconnection, a chance to really nurture the bond between you two. Maybe you've been through some tough times, maybe there have been some misunderstandings, or maybe just life has been getting in the way. The Star is saying that now is the time to let go of the past, to forgive yourselves and each other, and to really focus on building a stronger, more authentic connection. Are you feeling drawn to each other? Is the communication flowing more freely? Are you finding yourselves on the same wavelength? This is all the Star's energy at work. It's like the universe is giving you a cosmic hug, saying, yes, you're on the right path, keep going. It's a beautiful card to see, especially in a twin flame reading, because it represents the potential for deep, unconditional love and a connection that transcends the ordinary. But, and there's always a but, right? We have to be a little bit careful with the Star. Sometimes, it can represent a bit of an idealized view of things, like maybe seeing the connection through rose-colored glasses. It's easy to get caught up in the romance and the fantasy of it all, and forget about the practical realities of building a real relationship, So, while you're basking in this beautiful Star energy, just make sure you're also staying grounded and realistic. Are you truly seeing your twin flame for who they are, or are you projecting your own hopes and dreams onto them? Are you being honest with yourself about the challenges that you're facing, or are you sweeping them under the rug? These are important questions to ask yourself, because if you're not careful, that idealized view can come crashing down later on. I mean, it is followed by the Tower. So maybe that is something we will need to consider. Now, let's move on to the Nine of Cups. Ah, the Wish card. This card is all about satisfaction, contentment, and having your dreams come true. It's that feeling of Yes, I finally made it. I have everything I ever wanted. Maybe you're feeling really good about where you are in your life right now. Maybe you've achieved some major goals. Or maybe you're just feeling really happy and fulfilled in your relationships, especially, perhaps, your twin flame connection. In the context of this reading, the Nine of Cups suggests that you're experiencing a period of happiness and fulfillment in your twin flame journey. Maybe you've finally reached a point where you feel like you're truly connected, that you're on the same page, and that you're building a solid future together. Maybe you're finally getting the recognition and validation that you've been craving, or maybe you're just feeling really good about yourself and your place in the world. This card can also represent a deep sense of self-love and acceptance, which is so important in any relationship, but especially in a twin flame connection. When you truly love and accept yourself, flaws and all, you're better able to love and accept your twin flame unconditionally, too. But just like with the star, we have to be a little bit careful with the Nine of Cups. Sometimes it can represent complacency, a feeling of like, okay, I've made it, I can just relax now. It's easy to get too comfortable and stop putting in the effort that's needed to keep the relationship strong and healthy, you know? It's like you've reached the top of the mountain, and you're so busy admiring the view that you forget to keep climbing. Or perhaps you're so happy in this moment that you get, well, I don't want to say you get selfish, but you do become too focused on your own happiness and not what will sustain that happiness. You know, almost like you're only thinking about yourself. Also, sometimes the Nine of Cups can be a bit of an illusion, too. It can represent a feeling of like, everything is perfect, when actually, there are still some underlying issues that need to be addressed. Maybe you're ignoring some red flags, or maybe you're not being honest with yourself about your own needs and desires. It's like you're so focused on the surface level happiness that you're not paying attention to what's going on underneath. With both the star and the Nine of Cups, I have to ask, is this connection really as perfect as it seems? Are you truly seeing each other for who you are, or are you both just caught up in a fantasy? Is there any room for growth and change, or are you both just stuck in your ways? It's important to ask these questions because if you're not careful, that complacency and that illusion can come crashing down. And that, my friend, brings us to the Tower. Oh, the Tower. This card is all about sudden change, unexpected upheaval, and the shattering of illusions. It's that feeling of like, oh my God, everything I thought I knew is wrong. It can be a scary card to see, especially after the star and the Nine of Cups, because it represents a major disruption to your plans and your expectations. But it's also a necessary card, because it clears away the old, outdated structures that are no longer serving you, making way for something new and better to emerge. The Tower is here to shake things up, to force you to confront the truth, and to rebuild your life on a more solid foundation. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've gotten too comfortable, you've gotten too complacent, it's time to wake up. In the context of your twin flame journey, the Tower suggests that there's going to be some kind of major shift or change that's going to challenge everything you thought you knew about the connection. Maybe there's going to be a sudden revelation, a shocking betrayal, or a painful breakup. Maybe there's going to be some external event that forces you to reevaluate your priorities and your values. Whatever it is, it's going to be intense, it's going to be unexpected, and it's going to be life-changing. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, though. Remember, the Tower is here to clear away the illusions and the false beliefs that are holding you back. It's here to help you see the truth about yourself, about your twin flame, and about the connection between you two. It's here to help you rebuild your life on a more authentic foundation, one that's based on honesty, integrity, and unconditional love. The Tower is also a reminder that you're not in control of everything. Sometimes, things happen that are beyond your control, and all you can do is surrender to the process and trust that everything is happening for a reason. It's like the universe has a bigger plan for you, and even though it might not make sense right now, you have to believe that it's ultimately for your highest good. So yeah, the Tower can be scary, but it's also a powerful catalyst for growth and transformation. It's an opportunity to break free from the limitations of the past to embrace your true potential, and to create a life that's aligned with your soul's purpose. Okay, so we have the Star, 9 of Cups, and then boom, the Tower. It feels like you're being warned about getting too complacent, or idealistic, or maybe even too happy, because the Tower is waiting in the wings to shake things up. It's like the universe is saying, don't get too comfortable because change is coming. And with that Fluorite Star, this change is all about awakening, remember? So whatever happens, it's going to be a catalyst for growth and transformation, and will ultimately lead you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your twin flame connection. I wonder what comes next, after the dust settles. So yeah, the Tower, right? Like everything you thought you knew is just gone. It's that sudden, unexpected upheaval that just throws you for a loop. It can be really scary, but remember, it's also necessary. It's clearing away all the old stuff that's not serving you anymore, making way for something new and hopefully better. But right now, it probably just feels like a mess, a huge, chaotic mess. And now we have Temperance. Ah, Temperance. This card is all about balance, harmony, patience, and finding the middle ground. It's about bringing together opposing forces like fire and water and creating something new and beautiful. It's about finding that sweet spot where everything just flows, where you're not too much of one thing and not too little of another. It's about moderation, self-control, and a deep understanding of yourself and your needs. It's like, after all that Tower chaos, Temperance is like a gentle hand guiding you back to center, you know. Saying, okay, take a deep breath, let's find some calm in this storm. So, how does Temperance play into this whole situation, especially after that Tower moment? Well, one way to look at it is that Temperance is here to soften the blow, to help you navigate the aftermath of the Tower. It's like, okay, everything has fallen apart, now what? Temperance is saying, don't panic. Don't rush into anything. Take your time, assess the situation, and find a balanced way forward. It's about finding that inner peace, that sense of calm, even when everything around you is in chaos. Maybe the Tower has revealed some harsh truths about your twin flame connection. Maybe it's brought up some painful memories or unresolved issues. Temperance is here to help you process those emotions, to find a way to integrate them into your life, and to move forward with compassion and understanding. It's about finding that middle ground between your own needs and the needs of your twin flame, about compromising and working together to build a stronger, more balanced connection. It is about the angel, after all, and it is about finding balance, so it's probably about both of your needs. And maybe that also means recognizing where you're unbalanced, and that takes self-awareness, right? Like, are you giving too much and not receiving enough? Are you being too controlling and not allowing your twin flame to be themselves? Are you holding on to resentment and not forgiving each other for past mistakes? Temperance is asking you to look at all of these things and find a more balanced way of being. It's about healing those wounds and creating a space for growth and harmony. You know, almost like you're creating the calm within the storm. But here's another way to look at it, and this is something I'm really feeling with this Fluorite Star energy. Temperance could also be a call for balance before the Tower even hit as hard as it did. Like, maybe the Tower was inevitable, but maybe the impact could have been lessened if you had already been practicing temperance in your life and in your twin flame connection. It's like, were there warning signs that you were ignoring? Were there imbalances that you were sweeping under the rug? Were you avoiding difficult conversations or pretending that everything was perfect when it wasn't? Temperance is asking you to be honest with yourself, to really look at where you're out of balance, and to take steps to correct it before things get completely out of control. Maybe you were too focused on the romance and the fantasy of the twin flame connection, and not enough on the practical realities of building a real relationship. Maybe you were putting your twin flame on a pedestal and not seeing them for who they really are, flaws and all. Maybe you were neglecting your own needs and desires in order to please your twin flame. Temperance is saying, okay, wake up. It's time to get real. It's time to find some balance. It's about creating a solid foundation for your relationship, one that's based on honesty, trust, and mutual respect. It's also about having a good sense of who you are, as well as a good sense of where you're going. Kind of reminds me of that saying, how can you love someone else if you don't love yourself? Maybe that's part of it. And let's be real, twin flame connections are notoriously unbalanced, right? I mean, it's like this intense, magnetic pull that can just throw you completely off kilter. You're so caught up in the connection, in the drama, in the push and pull, that you can easily lose sight of yourself and your own needs. It's like you're constantly chasing after something that's just out of reach, and you're never quite able to find that sense of peace and stability. And temperance in this situation is such a powerful reminder that true connection comes from inner balance. It's about finding that sense of wholeness within yourself, so that you're not relying on your twin flame to complete you. It's about having your own life, your own interests, your own friends, so that you're not completely consumed by the relationship. It's about setting healthy boundaries and communicating your needs clearly and assertively. It's also about recognizing that your twin flame is on their own journey and that you can't control their choices or their actions. You can only control your own responses, and that can be tough. It's about trusting that everything is happening for a reason, even when it doesn't make sense, and about surrendering to the process with grace and acceptance. Which honestly is probably why the tower came in so hard, you know? Because maybe there was a lack of balance that needed to be addressed. And of course, balance isn't about perfection. It's about finding the point of equilibrium, even if it's constantly shifting. Remember, you pulled the Fluorite star, which is all about awakening. So, temperance is like a key to unlocking a deeper understanding of yourself and your twin flame connection. It's about seeing things from a new perspective, about recognizing the patterns that are holding you back, and about making conscious choices to create a more balanced and fulfilling life. It's about trusting your intuition and following your inner guidance, even when it leads you down unexpected paths. It's about having faith that everything is working out for your highest good, even when it doesn't feel like it. It's like temperance is guiding you towards a higher level of awareness, a deeper understanding of your soul's purpose, and a more authentic connection with your twin flame, however that connection looks. It's like the Fluorite star is illuminating the path forward, showing you the way to find balance and harmony in the midst of chaos. So with the star, 9 of Cups, the tower, and now temperance, it feels like you're being guided through this intense process of awakening and transformation. You're being asked to let go of the illusions, to confront the truth, and to rebuild your life on a more solid foundation. You're being challenged to find balance and harmony within yourself and in your twin flame connection, even when everything around you is falling apart. I wonder, though, what's next? I mean, we still have 3 cards to pull, right? Are we going to see a period of healing and rebuilding after the tower? Are we going to see more challenges and obstacles to overcome? Are we going to see a deeper level of commitment and union with your twin flame? Or, I don't know, maybe even a complete separation, if that's what's needed for your soul's growth. It's like temperance is setting the stage for whatever comes next, and it's really about how you choose to respond to the challenges that are presented to you. It's about whether you choose to find balance and harmony, or whether you continue to cling to the old patterns and illusions. And that's all going to depend on what cards are coming next, isn't it? I'm so excited to see. Okay, so we've got the star, 9 of Cups, the tower, temperance, and now the King of Pentacles. Wow, okay, this is really interesting. So the King of Pentacles, right? He's all about stability, security, abundance, but like in a very grounded, practical way. He's not just dreaming about riches, he's actually building something real, something tangible. He's the kind of guy who has his feet firmly planted on the earth, you know? He's reliable, he's trustworthy, and he knows how to create a comfortable, secure life for himself and for those around him. He's like the ultimate provider. He's really about that secure energy and about creating a space that feels secure and abundant. But like, how does that fit into this whole twin flame journey, especially after the tower? Well, maybe this King of Pentacles is about building a new foundation after all that chaos. Maybe the tower shook things up so much that you're now realizing the importance of having a solid, stable base in your life, you know. maybe you're craving that sense of security and predictability after all the uncertainty. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've been through the storm, now it's time to rebuild, but this time, build it stronger, build it smarter, build it to last. And that could be in all areas of your life, right? It could be about your finances, your career, your home, your relationships. It's about creating a life that feels safe, secure, and abundant on all levels. Maybe you're focusing on creating a more stable financial situation so you don't feel like you're constantly living on the edge. Maybe you're working on building a stronger, more reliable support system of friends and family. Or maybe you're just creating a more comfortable and nurturing home environment for yourself. Maybe you're focusing on your career, putting in the effort and the time to reach your goals. But, and there's always a but, right? With the King of Pentacles, we have to be careful not to get too caught up in the material world. Sometimes, this card can represent being too focused on money, possessions, and status, to the point where you neglect the more important things in life, like love, connection, and spiritual growth. It's like you're so busy chasing after success and security that you forget to enjoy the journey. You forget to appreciate what you already have, and you forget to nurture your relationships. It's really easy to fall into that trap, especially in today's society, where we're constantly bombarded with messages about needing more, having more, and being more, you know. And in a twin flame connection, that can be especially dangerous. Because twin flame relationships are all about unconditional love, spiritual growth, and soul connection, not about material possessions or social status. If you're too focused on the material aspects of life, you might miss the whole point of the connection. You might get so caught up in trying to create a perfect life together that you forget to just be present with each other, to love each other unconditionally, and to support each other on your spiritual journeys. You know. It's like you're building this beautiful house, but you're forgetting to fill it with love and laughter. And sometimes, you can get so caught up with it being perfect that you miss the entire point of the house being built. So, with the King of Pentacles, it's important to find that balance, just like Temperance was talking about. It's about creating a stable and secure life for yourself, but without sacrificing your values, your passions, and your relationships. It's about using your resources and your abundance to make a positive impact on the world, to help others, and to create a more just and equitable society. And it's about remembering that true wealth isn't just about money. It's about love, joy, connection, and spiritual fulfillment. You know, it's like being rich in spirit, not just in pocket. It's about having a life that's both comfortable and meaningful. Almost being able to find the meaning within what you're doing to obtain the comfort. And the King of Pentacles can also represent taking responsibility for your own life and your own well-being. It's about stepping into your power and creating the life that you want, instead of waiting for someone else to do it for you. It's about being proactive, resourceful, and disciplined, and about taking concrete steps to achieve your goals. It's like being the architect of your own destiny. You know, I think that's part of the point of the twin flame. You're being the architect together, but you need to be able to manage yourself first. But again, we have to be careful not to become too rigid or controlling. Sometimes, the King of Pentacles can represent being too stuck in your ways, too unwilling to change, and too afraid to take risks. It's like you're so comfortable in your routine, you're so afraid of losing what you have, that you become resistant to new ideas, new experiences, and new opportunities. And that can really stifle your growth and your potential, both as an individual and as a couple. And in a twin flame connection, that rigidity can be especially problematic. Because twin flame relationships are all about growth, transformation, and evolution. If you're too stuck in your ways, you might resist the changes that are necessary for the connection to evolve. You might try to control your twin flame, to force them to be who you want them to be, instead of accepting them for who they are. And that can lead to a lot of conflict and resentment. It's like you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, and it's just not going to work. This can also be about a power dynamic that needs to be evened out, and it also connects to the angel card that came before. So, the King of Pentacles is really asking you to find that balance between stability and flexibility, between security and freedom, between control and surrender. It's about being grounded and practical, but also open to new possibilities and willing to take risks. It's about creating a life that's both comfortable and exciting, both secure and fulfilling. And it's about remembering that true abundance comes from within, not from without. Also, is there some sort of physical world need that needs to be addressed? You can't have any kind of relationship if you're not eating or you don't have a house. This is about really solidifying those needs and making sure that those are secure. And if you're in a secure position, are you using that to build further and solidify the relationship? The king is all about building, so are you building together? With that fluorite star energy, it's about using your intuition to guide you towards the most authentic and fulfilling path. It's about trusting your inner wisdom and making choices that are aligned with your soul's purpose. It's about awakening to the truth of who you are and what you're here to do. And it's about using your gifts and talents to create a better world for yourself and for others. So with the star, 9 of Cups, the Tower, Temperance, and the King of Pentacles, it feels like you're being guided on this really intense journey of transformation and awakening. And it's interesting that it feels so grounded now. You're being asked to let go of the illusions, to confront the truth, to find balance, and to create a stable foundation for your life. You're also being challenged to step into your power, to take responsibility for your own well-being, and to use your resources to make a positive impact on the world. But what's next? Are we going to see more challenges to overcome? Are we going to see a deeper level of commitment and union with your twin flame? Or are we going to see a completely different direction altogether? It feels like the King of Pentacles is setting the stage for whatever comes next, and it's really about how you choose to use your power and your resources. Are you going to use them to create a life that's based on love, joy, and connection? Or are you going to get caught up in the material world and lose sight of what's really important? And how does the other person in this connection feel about what you're doing? Is it helping them? I'm so excited to see. What card are we pulling next? Okay, so we have the Star, 9 of Cups, the Tower, Temperance, King of Pentacles, and now the Queen of Cups. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so the Queen of Cups, she's like the ultimate heart card, you know? She's all about emotions, intuition, compassion, and unconditional love. She's the embodiment of feminine energy in its purest form. She's deeply connected to her feelings, she's highly empathetic, and she just radiates this aura of warmth and nurturing. I think of her as someone who's really in tune with her own emotions and really aware of the emotions of the people around her. She's not afraid to feel deeply, and she's always there to offer a listening ear or a comforting shoulder. She's also incredibly intuitive, she can just sense things that other people can't. She trusts her gut feelings, and she's often guided by her dreams and her intuition. She's really tapped into something, you know? So how does this Queen of Cups fit into the story we've got so far, with the Star, 9 of Cups, the Tower, Temperance, and the King of Pentacles? Well, I think she's coming in as a gentle healing balm after all that Tower upheaval, you know? The Tower just, shatters everything, right? It's chaotic and disorienting, and it can leave you feeling really raw and vulnerable. And then we get to Temperance, which is trying to smooth things out and tell you to balance yourself. But the Queen of Cups is okay, now it's time to really nurture yourself, to really connect with your emotions, and to really heal from all that you've been through. It's she's saying, it's okay to feel. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to need support. And after the Tower and then the King of Pentacles, she kind of is needed. You know, okay, you're wanting to build and put things back together, but did you fix yourself? And that King of Pentacles energy, which is all about stability and security, can sometimes be a little bit rigid, you know? It can be so focused on building a solid foundation that it forgets about the emotional needs. I feel like the Queen of Cups is here to soften that energy, to remind you that it's not just about material security, it's also about emotional fulfillment. And I think that's a really important part of the twin flame journey, right? It's not just about finding someone to build a life with, it's about finding someone who resonates with your soul, who understands your emotions, and who supports your spiritual growth. The Queen of Cups is all about unconditional love, and I think that's a really important aspect of the twin flame connection. It's about loving your twin flame for who they are, flaws and all, and about accepting them unconditionally. It's about being there for them, even when things get tough, and about supporting them on their journey, even when it's different from your own. I think the Queen of Cups is telling you to really embrace that unconditional love, both for yourself and for your twin flame. And remember that fluorite star crystal. It's all about awakening and discovering hidden truths. The Queen of Cups can help you tap into your intuition and see things from a new perspective, especially when it comes to your emotions and your relationships. She can help you understand your own feelings and the feelings of others, and she can guide you towards a deeper understanding of your twin flame connection. She's basically saying, trust your gut, follow your heart, you know more than you think you do. She may be that awakening that you need. But what are some of the specific qualities of the Queen of Cups that can help you on your twin flame journey? Well, first of all, she's incredibly compassionate. She has this deep well of empathy that allows her to understand and connect with others on a really profound level. She's always there to offer a listening ear, a comforting shoulder, or a kind word. She sees the best in people, even when they're struggling, and she believes in their potential for growth and healing. And that compassion is so important in a twin flame connection, because these relationships can be so intense and challenging, right? There's so much emotional baggage, so much past trauma, and so much potential for conflict. But the Queen of Cups reminds you to always approach your twin flame with compassion and understanding, to see them as a soul who's also on a journey, and to offer them the same kindness and support that you would offer yourself. You know, almost like being kind to yourself in general. She's also incredibly nurturing. She has this innate ability to create a safe and supportive environment where people can feel comfortable being themselves. She's a natural caregiver, and she loves to help others heal and grow. She's like the ultimate mama bear, always there to protect and nurture those she cares about. And that nurturing energy is so important in a twin flame connection, because these relationships can be so demanding, right? They require so much vulnerability, so much honesty, and so much self-reflection. And it's so important to create a space where you both feel safe enough to be yourselves, to be open and honest about your feelings, and to support each other through the tough times. The Queen of Cups reminds you to nurture your connection, to create a space where you both feel loved, supported, and appreciated. Maybe you're making time for date nights, writing love letters, or just spending quality time together without any distractions. Or it can be that you're making sure you're giving each other compliments, or you're listening actively when the other person is talking. She's also deeply intuitive, and that may even mean she's psychic. She trusts her gut feelings, and she's often guided by her dreams and her intuition. She can sense things that other people can't, and she's always open to receiving messages from the universe. And that intuition is so important in a twin flame connection, because these relationships are often guided by a higher power, right? There's something that brought you together, and that it wasn't just chance. There's this sense that you're both being guided towards a specific purpose, and it's so important to trust your intuition and follow your inner guidance, even when it doesn't make sense logically. The Queen of Cups reminds you to listen to your intuition, to pay attention to your dreams, and to be open to receiving messages from the universe. She's saying, you know the way, trust yourself. And especially with this fluorite star, are you listening to what it wants you to do? It's all about intuition. But of course, like every card, the Queen of Cups also has a shadow side, right? If she's not balanced, she can become overly emotional, codependent, or even manipulative. She can get so caught up in her own feelings that she loses sight of reality, and she can become easily overwhelmed by the emotions of others. Sometimes the compassion is so intense that she feels the need to fix people. She may want to heal the other person, but may actually suffocate them. She may also just suffocate you. Are you giving all of yourself and nothing is left for you? She can also become too attached to her relationships, and she can become fearful of being alone. She may start to put the needs of others before her own, and she may lose sight of her own identity. She can also become manipulative, using her emotions to get what she wants. She may guilt-trip others, play the victim, or use emotional blackmail to control them. If she's really unbalanced, she can become completely consumed by her emotions, to the point where she's unable to function properly. She may become prone to mood swings, anxiety attacks, or even depression. She may also turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms, like alcohol or drugs, to numb her feelings. So, how can you avoid the shadow side of the Queen of Cups and embrace her positive qualities? Well, first of all, it's important to practice self-love and self-care. The Queen of Cups can only be truly compassionate and nurturing towards others if she's first compassionate and nurturing towards herself. Make sure you're taking care of your own needs, both physical and emotional. Get enough sleep, eat healthy foods, exercise regularly, and make time for activities that you enjoy. It's also important to set healthy boundaries in your relationships. The Queen of Cups can sometimes have a hard time saying no, but it's essential to protect your own energy and well-being. Don't be afraid to say no to requests that you can't fulfill, and don't allow others to take advantage of your kindness. You have to keep some of that kindness for yourself. It's also important to develop your emotional intelligence. Learn to understand your own emotions and the emotions of others, and learn healthy ways to express your feelings. Practice active listening, empathy, and nonviolent communication. It's also important to trust your intuition, but not blindly. Use your intuition as a guide, but always balance it with logic and reason. Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment, and always be willing to consider different perspectives. Almost like a gut check. Is this really something you think is a good idea, or are you getting carried away? So, the Queen of Cups is really inviting you to embrace your emotions, to connect with your intuition, and to nurture your relationships, especially your twin flame connection. She's reminding you that true love is unconditional, and that it requires compassion, understanding, and acceptance. She's also warning you to avoid the shadow side of the Queen by practicing self-love, setting healthy boundaries, and developing your emotional intelligence. She really is that balanced counter to the Tower. And with the Fluorite star, it's like she's illuminating the path towards a more heart-centered and fulfilling life. What's coming next? I'm feeling like we're moving towards a deeper level of connection and commitment, but I also sense that there may be some more emotional challenges to overcome. Okay, so we have the Star, Nine of Cups, the Tower, Temperance, King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and now the Magician. Wow. Okay, this is like a whole new level, you know. So the Magician, first of all, this card is all about manifestation, skill, resourcefulness, and taking action. It's about having all the tools you need at your disposal and knowing how to use them to create the reality you desire. It's about being confident, assertive, and proactive in pursuing your goals. Like, the Magician is not waiting for things to happen. The Magician is making things happen, you know. Like if the Queen of Cups is all about feeling and intuition, the Magician is all about action and will. This is a very active energy we're stepping into. The Magician sees the potential and makes it real. So, how does this fit into everything we've seen so far? I mean, we've had this whole journey, right? We have the Star, that hope and inspiration, then the Nine of Cups, the feeling of having your wishes fulfilled, then boom, the Tower, everything falling apart, and then Temperance, trying to find balance, the King of Pentacles building stability, the Queen of Cups diving into emotions. And now the Magician comes along. Okay, so let's start with the Star. The Star is all about hope and inspiration, right? But sometimes hope isn't enough. Sometimes you need to take action to make your dreams a reality. That's where the Magician comes in. The Star gives you the vision, but the Magician gives you the power to manifest it. It's like the Star is saying, believe in yourself, and the Magician is saying, okay, now show me what you can do. And the Fluorite Star is giving you the insight to be able to use those gifts in order to reach those goals. You can almost see the Star and the Magician working together, you know? What about the Nine of Cups? That's all about satisfaction and having your wishes fulfilled, but maybe you got there passively. Maybe things just fell into place. the magician is about actively creating that satisfaction. It's about taking control of your destiny and making your own dreams come true. It's like the Nine of Cups is saying, "Wow, I'm so lucky." And the magician is saying, "No, you're not lucky, you're skilled, you're resourceful, you made this happen." And with the magician, it's like, how do you hold on to that fulfillment, What actions do you need to take? Okay, now let's talk about the Tower. Ooh, this is interesting. The Tower is all about sudden change and unexpected upheaval, right? But the magician can help you navigate that chaos. It's about being adaptable, resourceful, and quick-thinking in the face of adversity. It's about finding opportunity in the midst of crisis. Like the Tower is saying, everything is falling apart, and the magician is saying, okay, let's see what we can salvage. Let's rebuild something even better. The magician knows how to use what is at hand, It's all about making the best of a bad situation. And I almost wonder if the magician is showing up to almost make the Tower card's influence less severe. And then we have Temperance, all about balance and harmony. The magician needs to have that balance, or all that power is going to be lopsided. The magician is about using your skills and resources wisely and ethically. It's about finding that middle ground between action and inaction, between assertiveness and passivity, so this is a really nice combo. Okay, then there's the King of Pentacles, the man all about stability and security. The magician can help you build that stability and security, but in a more dynamic and creative way. It's about using your skills and resources to create abundance and prosperity, but also about taking risks and exploring new opportunities. The King of Pentacles is saying, let's build a solid foundation, and the magician is saying, okay, but let's also build something innovative and exciting. It's about finding that balance between security and adventure. And finally, the Queen of Cups, all about emotions and intuition. Oh, this is so important. The magician needs to be connected to their emotions, to their intuition, in order to use their power wisely. The magician can be so focused on action and manifestation that they forget about the emotional needs of themselves and others. The Queen of Cups is here to remind the magician to lead with their heart, to be compassionate, and to use their power for good. It's like the Queen of Cups is saying, don't forget about your feelings. And the magician is saying, okay, I'll use my power to create a world where everyone feels loved and supported. It's really about using that emotional intelligence to have a deeper and more impactful reaction. The magician can use the emotional intelligence to be a force for real change, and I think that's really great. But like every card, the magician has a shadow side, right? When the magician is not balanced, they can become manipulative, deceitful, and power-hungry. They can use their skills and resources to exploit others, to gain an unfair advantage, or to create chaos and destruction. It's like they're so focused on getting what they want that they don't care who they hurt along the way. They can be very charming and persuasive, but underneath it all, they're just using people to get ahead. And there's also something to be said about people who are easily swayed. Do these people not know what they want? What is going on? The magician can also become arrogant and egotistical, believing that they're superior to others and that they know what's best for everyone. They can become controlling and domineering, trying to force others to follow their will. They can also become disconnected from their emotions, suppressing their feelings and becoming cold and calculating. They may turn to dark arts or manipulative strategies to get what they want. They are so powerful that the power could get to their head. So, how do you avoid the shadow side of the magician and embrace their positive qualities? Well, first of all, it's important to be mindful of your intentions. Are you using your power for good, or are you using it to harm others? Are you acting from a place of love and compassion, or are you acting from a place of fear and greed? Always check your motives before taking action. I think it can also be helpful to find someone to ground you. Make sure you find a person to bring you back down to earth. It's also important to be humble and grateful. Remember that your skills and resources are gifts, and they should be used to serve others, not to serve yourself. Don't let your ego get in the way, and always be willing to learn from others. Be ready to give back and acknowledge other people as helpful. It's also important to stay connected to your emotions and to your intuition. Don't suppress your feelings, and don't ignore your gut instincts. Use your emotional intelligence to guide your actions, and always be compassionate and empathetic towards others. You want to use your intuition to guide you to making good decisions and not making bad decisions. And of course, it's important to use your power responsibly. Don't exploit others, don't manipulate others, and don't use your skills to create chaos or destruction. Use your power to create positive change in the world, to help others, and to make a difference. So the magician is really about taking control of your life, using your skills and resources wisely, and creating the reality you desire. But it's also about being mindful of your intentions, staying connected to your emotions, and using your power for good. And with that fluorite star crystal, it's about using your intuition to guide your actions and to awaken to your full potential. So after all of these cards, are you taking the right action? Are you on the right path? You had all this hope, things crashed down, are you now building back up? I almost feel like the Star, Tower, Temperance, King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Magician are all about this, and it's culminating in the Magician's reaction. Are you going to embrace the power for good, or are you going to be led astray? And how does this all play into your twin flame connection, right? Is this about you taking action to improve the connection? Is it about you using your skills to manifest a deeper level of intimacy and commitment? Or is it about something else entirely? It's like the magician is setting the stage for whatever comes next, and it's really about how you choose to use your power and your resources in this relationship. Is it going to be a force for healing and growth, or is it going to create more chaos and conflict? What is coming next? I am so excited to see, and it is going to depend so much on you. But how are you going to show up? Okay, my friend, Fluorite Star. After all of that, are you ready to dive into our final card? I'm so excited. So, let's recap for a sec because this has been a journey. We started with the Star, feeling all hopeful and inspired, like everything was aligning, you know? And then the Nine of Cups, like bam, wishes fulfilled, feeling content and happy. But then, the Tower. The rug gets pulled out from under you, everything you thought you knew gets shattered. Chaos ensues. But then, Temperance comes in, like a soothing balm, reminding you to find balance and harmony amidst the storm. And then, the King of Pentacles steps in, offering stability and security, helping you rebuild on a solid foundation. Following that, there's the Queen of Cups, here to remind you to connect with your emotions, with your intuition, and to nurture yourself and your relationships. And then, of course, we had the Magician, taking charge, manifesting your desires, using your skills and resources to create the reality you want. And now we have the Moon. The Moon. This card is all about intuition, the subconscious, illusions, and the hidden aspects of yourself and of the situation. It's like, after all that action and manifestation with the Magician, the Moon is pulling you back inwards, urging you to trust your gut, to explore the depths of your being, and to confront any hidden fears or illusions that might be holding you back. So how does the Moon fit into this whole story, this whole twin flame journey we've been exploring? Well, I think it's like the missing piece of the puzzle, you know. We've seen the hope, the fulfillment, the chaos, the rebuilding, the emotions, the action, but the Moon is about going deeper, about understanding what's really going on beneath the surface. You know, it's like the Tower shook everything up, right? It shattered those illusions, but the Moon is about exploring what those illusions were in the first place. What were you not seeing? What were you afraid to confront? What hidden aspects of yourself or your twin flame were you ignoring? With that Fluorite Star, this is all about illuminating the things that are not clear. Are you listening to that? The Moon is all about the hidden things, like the things that are there but you can't see unless you're looking for them. It is like you're walking in the dark. The Moon is urging you to trust your intuition, even when things don't make sense logically. It's about paying attention to your dreams, your feelings, your gut instincts, because they're all trying to tell you something. They're guiding you towards a deeper understanding of yourself, your twin flame, and the connection between you two. It's also about embracing the shadow side, you know. The Moon is associated with the darkness, with the unknown, with the things we try to hide from ourselves and from others. But those shadow aspects are just as much a part of us as the light, and they need to be acknowledged and integrated in order to achieve wholeness. Are you ready to really explore those without being afraid of what you may find? Are you ready to have a full picture, even if that picture is not what you thought it would be? Maybe the moon is highlighting some fears or insecurities that are preventing you from fully embracing the twin flame connection. Maybe you're afraid of getting hurt, of being rejected, of losing yourself in the relationship. Or maybe you're afraid of the intensity of the connection, of the vulnerability it requires, of the changes it might bring to your life. The moon is asking you to confront those fears, to acknowledge them, and to work through them so that they don't hold you back from experiencing the full potential of this connection. This is a great time to work through that, when you're ready. And you know, the moon can also represent illusions in the relationship itself. Maybe you're seeing your twin flame through rose-colored glasses, idealizing them, and ignoring their flaws. Or maybe you're projecting your own expectations and desires onto them, instead of seeing them for who they truly are. The moon is urging you to take off the blinders, to see your twin flame clearly, flaws and all, and to accept them unconditionally. It's about recognizing that they're on their own journey and that you can't control their choices or their actions. This can be a little tough, as we do have that tower card. Maybe that tower was built with illusions. And now you're having to make changes, not just with the relationship, but with your twin flame as well. It can be easy to get caught up in the fantasy of the twin flame connection, to believe that it's all meant to be and that everything will magically work out. But the moon is reminding you that relationships take work, that they require honesty, communication, and a willingness to confront challenges. Are you both ready to do the work to make it work? The moon also touches upon the hidden dynamics within the relationship. Maybe there are power imbalances, unresolved conflicts, or unspoken needs that are creating tension and distance. Or maybe there are past traumas or wounds that are affecting the way you relate to each other. The moon is urging you to bring these hidden dynamics to light, to have open and honest conversations, and to work through any issues that are preventing you from connecting on a deeper level. With the magician here, are you ready to use your skills and your power to do this? It can be a really important and useful thing to think about. And you know, sometimes the moon can even represent deception or hidden agendas. Maybe there's something that's not being revealed, something that's being kept secret. Or maybe there's someone who's not being entirely honest about their intentions. The moon is urging you to be discerning, to trust your intuition, and to look for any red flags that might be indicating something is amiss. This is especially important if you feel like something is off. Okay, so how do you navigate this lunar energy? How do you embrace the shadow side, trust your intuition, and confront any illusions or hidden dynamics that might be present? Well, first of all, it's important to create space for introspection and self-reflection. Take some time to be alone with your thoughts and feelings, to journal, to meditate, or to engage in any activity that helps you connect with your inner self. I think also, think back to all the cards. How can you put it together in a way that makes sense for where you're at now? Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What am I not seeing? What hidden aspects of myself am I ignoring? It's also important to pay attention to your dreams. Dreams are often a direct line to the subconscious, and they can offer valuable insights into your fears, your desires, and your hidden truths. Keep a dream journal and try to interpret the symbols and messages that are coming through. Maybe there is something trying to tell you something. Trust your intuition, even when it doesn't make sense. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't dismiss your gut instincts, and don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking that your feelings are invalid. Your intuition is your most reliable guide, and it will always steer you in the right direction. It's what is going to lead you to where you need to go. And remember that fluorite star. It's a reminder that your intuition is supercharged right now. Are you listening to it? And it's also important to be honest with yourself and with your twin flame. Open and honest communication is essential for any healthy relationship, and it's especially important in a twin flame connection. Be willing to share your fears, your vulnerabilities, and your hidden truths, and create a safe space for your twin flame to do the same. Be willing to have difficult conversations, to confront uncomfortable truths, and to work through any issues that are preventing you from connecting on a deeper level. And honestly, with all of these cards together, I think now is a great time. Remember that this is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, twists and turns, moments of clarity and moments of confusion. Be patient with yourself, be compassionate towards your twin flame, and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. You've got to keep your chin up. Ultimately, Fluorite Star friend, the moon is here to guide you towards a deeper understanding of yourself, your twin flame, and the connection between you two. It's about embracing the shadows, trusting your intuition, and confronting any illusions or hidden dynamics that might be holding you back. It's about recognizing that the twin flame journey isn't always easy, but it's always an opportunity for growth, self-discovery, and unconditional love. You have the power to manifest the connection you desire. You have the intuition to guide you. You have the strength to overcome any challenges. The universe is supporting you every step of the way. This is just the beginning. I am so excited to see where this journey takes you. Hi there, you guys. Welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for being here. If you were drawn to the Hematite moon, isn't it beautiful, by the way? And this whole stack of cards, well then, this is definitely going to be your reading about the truth of your twin flame connection. This Hematite moon is all about harmonizing, which is so perfect for this reading about magnetic rhythms. You know, surrendering to the natural ebb and flow of your bond, and embracing the cyclical nature of union and separation. So let's see what the cards have to say, shall we? Okay, so first up, we have the moon, then the Nine of Cups, and finally, the Nine of Swords. That's a really interesting combination, isn't it? Okay, where do I even begin? Well, let's start with the moon. The moon card in a twin flame reading, oh my gosh, it screams illusions, secrets, hidden emotions, things that are lurking beneath the surface. It's like, what you see is definitely not always what you get, you know. This card often shows up when there's a lot of confusion or uncertainty surrounding the connection. Maybe you're not seeing your twin flame, or maybe they're not seeing you clearly, like there's a veil, a sort of dreamlike haze. It could mean that one or both of you are caught up in fantasies or projections about the other person. Like you're seeing who you want them to be, rather than who they actually are. Or, you know, vice versa. This can lead to a lot of disappointment down the road, because eventually the illusions are going to fade, right? Reality sets in and you're left with reality. But the moon isn't all bad news, okay? It's also about intuition and trusting your gut. It's saying, hey, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your feelings, because they're trying to tell you something important. This connection, this twin flame journey, it's not always going to be logical or make sense on the surface. You're going to have to rely on your intuition, like, big time. Maybe there are things that you're sensing about your twin flame, or about the connection itself, that you're afraid to acknowledge. The moon is urging you to face those fears, to dive into the shadows and uncover the truth, whatever that may be, you know. Because honestly, the truth, even if it's painful, is always better than living in a lie or an illusion. And remember, with the Hematite moon crystal's energy, we're talking about harmonizing. So even though the moon card can bring up a lot of murky stuff, the goal here is to find balance, to integrate the shadow aspects of the connection into the light. It's about bringing awareness to these hidden places so you can actually heal and move forward. This is so important. Okay, so we've got the moon with all its secrets and illusions. And then we have the Nine of Cups. Oh, the Nine of Cups. This is often called the wish card. It's like, all your dreams come true, right? It's about satisfaction, happiness, and getting exactly what you want. In a twin flame context, this could definitely indicate a period of harmony and bliss. Maybe you and your twin flame are finally on the same page, communicating openly and just enjoying each other's company. It could signify a reunion, a deepening of the connection, or even a commitment. But there's always a but, isn't there? With the Nine of Cups, it's important to be aware of the potential for Well, for things being too good to be true. Sometimes this card can indicate a superficial happiness, a sort of putting on a show for others. Like you're projecting this image of perfection, but underneath, there are still unresolved issues. Maybe you're so focused on fulfilling your desires, on getting that happy ending, that you're ignoring red flags or compromising your own needs. The Nine of Cups can sometimes be a warning against complacency, against settling for something that looks good on the surface but doesn't truly nourish your soul. And remember the Moon card? Those illusions, they can still be at play here. Maybe you're wishing for something that isn't actually in your best interest. Maybe you're clinging to a fantasy of what the connection should be, rather than accepting what it is. So it's like, you get your wish, but is it really what you wanted? Is it truly fulfilling? It's also worth considering what you had to sacrifice to get to this point of wish fulfillment. Did you compromise your values? Did you ignore your intuition? Did you settle for less than you deserve? These are all important questions to ask yourself when the Nine of Cups shows up, especially in the context of a twin flame connection. You know, because these connections are never easy. With the magnetic rhythms theme, this Nine of Cups could represent one peak in the cycle, a moment where everything feels aligned. But the key is to remember that cycles always turn, and what goes up must come down. So it's not about clinging to this moment of bliss, but about appreciating it and learning from it, so you can navigate the inevitable challenges that will come your way. Okay, so we have the Moon, hiding things, illusions, intuition, and then the Nine of Cups, wishes fulfilled, but maybe with a catch. And now, we have the Nine of Swords. This card. The Nine of Swords is all about anxiety, worry, fear, and sleepless nights. It's that feeling of being trapped in your own head, replaying the same negative thoughts over and over again. It's like a mental prison, right? In a twin flame reading, this card can indicate a lot of fear surrounding the connection. Maybe you're afraid of losing your twin flame, afraid of rejection, afraid of not being good enough for them. Maybe you're terrified of the intensity of the connection itself, of the vulnerability and the emotional roller coaster that it brings. It's like, this person knows you better than anyone else, and that can be incredibly scary, right? The Nine of Swords can also represent past traumas or unresolved issues that are being triggered by the connection. Twin flame relationships have a way of bringing all your stuff to the surface, all your wounds and insecurities. And that can be incredibly painful, like intensely painful, you know? So you might be lying awake at night, obsessing over past mistakes, or worrying about the future. You might be having nightmares, or feeling like you're constantly on edge. The Nine of Swords is a sign that you're carrying a heavy burden of anxiety, and it's time to find a way to release it. But here's the thing, and it's so important, a lot of the fears represented by the Nine of Swords are often based on illusions, on worst-case scenarios that may never actually come to pass. Remember the Moon card? Those illusions don't just disappear when the Nine of Cups shows up. They can still be lurking in the shadows, fueling your anxieties and distorting your perception of reality. You might be imagining things that aren't really there, or exaggerating the significance of certain events. The Nine of Swords is a reminder to challenge your negative thoughts, to question your assumptions, and to seek out a more balanced perspective. It's also important to remember that you're not alone in this. A twin flame journey is never meant to be walked in isolation. Reach out to your support system, talk to a therapist, or find a community of other twin flames who understand what you're going through. Sharing your fears and anxieties can help you release them and gain a new sense of clarity. And remember the Hematite Moon. This is where that harmonizing energy comes in. The Nine of Swords is showing you where you need to find balance within yourself, where you need to release the fear and embrace a more peaceful state of mind. It's a call to integrate these anxieties into your journey, not to let them consume you. Okay, so let's put it all together. We have the Moon, with its illusions and hidden emotions, the Nine of Cups, with its wish fulfillment and potential for superficiality, and the Nine of Swords, with its anxiety and fear. So what does it all mean in terms of your twin flame connection? Well, It suggests that you're currently navigating a period of intense emotional turmoil and uncertainty. There may be things that are hidden from you, or things that you're not seeing clearly. You may be clinging to a wish fulfillment that isn't truly satisfying, or that's based on illusions. And you're definitely dealing with a lot of anxiety and fear surrounding the connection. But, and this is a big but, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's actually an opportunity for growth and transformation. The moon is urging you to trust your intuition and face your fears. The Nine of Cups is reminding you of the potential for happiness and fulfillment. And the Nine of Swords is showing you where you need to heal and release negative patterns. This whole combination is about the cyclical nature of the twin flame connection, the ebb and flow of emotions, the push and pull of energies. You're not always going to be in a state of bliss, and you're not always going to be in a state of anxiety. There will be ups and downs, periods of clarity and periods of confusion. The key is to surrender to the rhythm of the connection, to embrace the challenges as well as the joys, and to trust that everything is happening for a reason. And of course, to remember the harmonizing energy of the Hematite moon, which is guiding you towards balance and integration, even in the midst of chaos. So, yeah, that's kind of the overview of these three cards together. I think there's so much more to unpack here, and I'm really excited to see what the rest of the cards reveal. I have a feeling this is going to be a really insightful reading, you guys. So, let's move on to the next card, okay? Okay, so wow, okay. We have the Eight of Wands right after all that. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like, things are definitely speeding up. This is such a jolt of energy, like after all that heavy emotion with the Nine of Swords. This is a huge shift. Okay, so where do we even start with the Eight of Wands? Well, first of all, this card is all about speed, action, movement, like things happening fast, you know? It's like boom, boom, boom. Things are coming at you like rapid fire. In a twin flame context, this could mean a lot of different things, honestly. But the first thing that comes to mind is communication. Okay, so, like, imagine after all that confusion from the Moon card, and all that anxiety from the Nine of Swords, suddenly, like, bam. An avalanche of messages, calls, texts, like, everything just starts flowing, you know? Maybe you and your twin flame are finally, like, actually talking, like, really talking, and, like, all the pent-up emotions, all the things that have been unsaid. They're just, like, pouring out. Or it could be that you're getting a lot of information from other sources, like downloads from the universe, signs and synchronicities, things that are helping you understand the connection on a deeper level, you know? This card is definitely about things moving quickly, like so quickly. But like, is that a good thing? I mean, it could be, right? With the Eight of Wands, it's like things are progressing. Things are finally, like, coming to a head, you know? Maybe you've been waiting for something to happen, for some kind of sign, some kind of confirmation, and now it's finally here. But it can also be overwhelming, right? Especially after the Nine of Swords. All that anxiety. It could get even worse if you're not prepared for this sudden influx of energy. It's like, can you even handle this much, this fast? And with the moon still in the mix, are you even seeing things clearly? Or is this just like more illusions coming at you at warp speed? Like, are you interpreting these messages correctly? Are you getting caught up in the excitement and missing important red flags? Okay, so, like, let's break this down a little bit more, right? The Eight of Wands, in its best light, is about breakthroughs, about finally overcoming obstacles, about moving forward with clarity and purpose. Maybe you and your twin flame have been stuck in a pattern of, like, miscommunication or separation, and this card is showing that that pattern is finally breaking, right? Maybe you're both ready to, like, put your egos aside and really commit to making the connection work. Or maybe you're realizing that this connection isn't serving you anymore, and you're finally ready to move on, like, to release it with love and gratitude, you know? It could be either way, honestly. The Eight of Wands is just saying that things are happening quickly, and you need to be ready to make a decision, to take action. But, like, what if you're not ready? What if you're still feeling confused and anxious? That's where it gets tricky, right? Because the Eight of Wands can also be about impulsivity, about acting without thinking, about getting caught up in the moment and making rash decisions that you later regret, With the moon card still lingering, those illusions could be really dangerous here. You might be seeing what you want to see, rather than what's actually there. You might be projecting your fantasies onto your twin flame or onto the situation, and then, making decisions based on those false assumptions. And then with the Nine of Swords, all that anxiety could be fueling your impulsivity, You might be acting out of fear, out of a desperate need to control the situation, rather than out of a place of love and trust. This is where it becomes, super important to tap into that harmonizing energy of the Hematite moon. Because the Hematite moon is all about balance, right? It's about finding your center amidst the chaos, about grounding yourself in the present moment, about staying true to your values and your intuition, even when things are moving really fast. The Eight of Wands is like a whirlwind, right? It can sweep you off your feet, it can carry you to new heights, but it can also knock you down and leave you feeling disoriented. The key is to learn how to ride the wave, to use the energy of the Eight of Wands to propel you forward, without losing yourself in the process, This is where surrendering to the magnetic rhythms comes in. The ebb and flow, the push and pull. You can't control everything that happens in this connection. You can't force your twin flame to be who you want them to be. You can't make the journey easy or painless. All you can do is trust the process, surrender to the flow, and have faith that everything is unfolding as it should, even when it doesn't make sense, And that's really hard, I know, especially when you're dealing with all these intense emotions. But the Hematite moon is there to remind you that you're not alone, that you're supported, that you have the strength and the wisdom to navigate these challenges. It's about finding that inner peace, that inner stillness, even when the world around you is spinning out of control. It's about harmonizing with the energy, not fighting against it. So with this Eight of Wands energy coming in so strong, what can you actually do, right? I mean, practically speaking. Well, first of all, take a deep breath, okay? Don't react immediately. Don't send that text, don't make that phone call, don't make any big decisions until you've had a chance to process everything. Step back, observe what's happening, and ask yourself some important questions, Are you seeing things clearly? Are you being honest with yourself about your feelings? Are you acting out of love or out of fear? What is your intuition telling you? What does your heart truly desire? This is a time for clarity, for discernment, for really tuning into your inner guidance system. Don't let the speed of the Eight of Wands pressure you into making a decision before you're ready. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say no. You are in control of your own journey, even when it feels like things are moving too fast. And remember those illusions from the moon card, they're probably still there, coloring your perception, so be extra careful about what you're believing, what you're trusting, This Eight of Wands is a powerful catalyst, but it's not the whole story, right? There's still more to uncover. There's still more guidance to receive. I'm really curious to see what the next card reveals. Are we going to get some clarity, some grounding, or are we going to get even more chaos? Honestly, it could go either way at this point. But either way, we're here for it, right? Okay, so let's pull the next card and see what happens, okay? Okay. So after all that craziness, right? The moon, the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and then the Eight of Wands just zooming in. We pull the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is huge. This whole reading is about to level up. Seriously, so the Wheel of Fortune, right? What does that even mean? Well, first of all, it's all about cycles, Ups and downs, twists and turns, what goes around comes around, all that jazz, right? It's destiny is at play, fate is intervening, and things are changing big time. In a twin flame context, oh man, this is a game changer. This could mean that you're entering a whole new phase of the connection, a turning point, where everything that's been building up is about to, shift into high gear. But is it a good shift? Is it a bad shift? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Because the Wheel of Fortune isn't just about good luck or bad luck. It's about the inevitable nature of change, right? It's about understanding that nothing stays the same forever, that everything is constantly evolving, and that you have to be willing to adapt and go with the flow, you know. And after all that anxiety from the Nine of Swords, I can imagine it must be a lot, right? So, let's connect this to the other cards, right? We have the moon, still casting its shadows, still creating illusions, still making it hard to see the truth. And then we have the Nine of Swords, all that anxiety and fear, clinging to you, right? And then the Eight of Wands, speeding things up, making it even harder to process everything, you know. So the Wheel of Fortune comes in and it's like, okay, buckle up, Buttercup, because things are about to get even more intense. It's like the universe is saying, you think you've seen it all, think again. Which, honestly, could be terrifying, but it could also be amazing, right? Because the Wheel of Fortune is also about opportunities, about seizing the moment, about trusting that everything is happening for a reason, even if you can't see it right now. Maybe those illusions from the moon are finally starting to fade, right? Maybe the truth is starting to reveal itself, and you're finally able to see your twin flame and the connection for what it really is. Or maybe that anxiety from the Nine of Swords is finally pushing you to take action, to make a change, to break free from whatever's been holding you back, you know. It's like you're being forced to confront your fears, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to embrace the unknown, which, again, scary. And then, the Eight of Wands is just fueling the fire, right? Making everything happen even faster, so you don't have time to overthink it, to second-guess yourself, to get caught up in your anxieties, you know? It's like the universe is pushing you, nudging you, sometimes even shoving you in the direction you're meant to go. Which can be painful, it can be uncomfortable, but it can also be incredibly liberating, you know? So with the Wheel of Fortune in the mix, it's like all bets are off, right? Anything can happen. You could experience a sudden breakthrough in the connection, a deepening of the bond, a reunion, a commitment, all the good stuff, right? Or you could experience a separation, a conflict, a betrayal, a heartbreak, all the bad stuff, right? It's all on the table. But here's the thing, and it's so important, the Wheel of Fortune isn't just about luck, right? It's not just about being in the right place at the right time. It's also about your own choices, your own actions, your own energy. You have the power to influence the wheel, to steer it in the direction you want it to go, you know. Even if you can't control everything that happens, you can control how you respond to it. You can choose to embrace the change, to learn from the challenges, to grow from the experiences, or you can choose to resist it, to cling to the past, to get stuck in your old patterns, you know. And that's where the Hematite moon comes in, right? Because the Hematite moon is all about harmonizing, about finding balance, about staying grounded, even when the world around you is spinning out of control. It's about remembering that you have the power to create your own reality, to manifest your own destiny, to attract the experiences you desire, you know? The Wheel of Fortune is turning, but you get to decide how you ride it. And you need to do it consciously. So practically speaking, what does this even mean for you right now? Well, first of all, it means surrendering to the unknown, right? Stop trying to control everything. Stop trying to predict the future. Stop trying to force things to happen the way you want them to, you know. Just let go and trust that the universe has a plan for you, even if you can't see it right now. That's not always easy, but it is important. It also means paying attention to the signs, right? The synchronicities, the coincidences, the intuitive nudges, all those little messages that the universe is sending you, you know. Be open to receiving guidance. Be willing to follow your intuition, even if it doesn't make sense on the surface. The Wheel of Fortune is often accompanied by a lot of, weird, synchronistic events. And it means taking action, right? Don't just sit back and wait for things to happen. Be proactive, be assertive, be willing to take risks, to step outside of your comfort zone, to pursue your dreams, you know. The Wheel of Fortune is a call to action, a reminder that you have the power to create your own reality. But be mindful of those illusions, right? The moon is still there, casting its shadows, so don't get caught up in fantasies, don't make assumptions, don't believe everything you see or hear, you know. Question everything, trust your intuition, and always, always, always stay grounded in reality, And be kind to yourself, right? The Wheel of Fortune can be a wild ride. It can be emotionally draining. It can be challenging, so make sure you're taking care of yourself, that you're nourishing your body, your mind, and your spirit, that you're surrounding yourself with love and support, Remember the Hematite moon and its harmonizing energy. It is there to help you stay balanced, to stay centered, to stay true to yourself, no matter what the Wheel of Fortune throws your way, Because this is a journey, and you are strong and you are resilient, and you are capable of handling anything that comes your way. Like, honestly, I'm so excited for you. This is such a powerful card, and it's showing that you're on the verge of something big, something transformative, something life-changing, But what is it? That's the question. Is it going to be a smooth ride? Is it going to be a bumpy ride? Is it going to be a joyful ride? Is it going to be a painful ride? We don't know yet. And that's why we have one more card to pull, right? To give us some clarity, some guidance, some insight into what the future holds. Oh my gosh, I'm so curious. What's the universe going to reveal next? Are we going to get some closure? Are we going to get some more chaos? I seriously cannot wait to find out. Okay, let's pull that final card, shall we? Okay, so the final card. We have the Emperor. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is really interesting, especially after the Wheel of Fortune spinning all over the place. The Emperor is solid, like a rock. It's after all that change and uncertainty, we get a card about structure and authority. Okay, so where do we even start with the Emperor? Well, first of all, this card is all about control, right? It's about taking charge, establishing order, setting boundaries, creating rules. It's the opposite of chaos, In a twin flame context, this could mean a lot of things. But the first thing that comes to mind is one of you, or maybe both of you, needs to step up and take control of the situation, Maybe things have been too chaotic, too emotional, too unpredictable, and someone needs to bring some stability to the connection. Or maybe it's about setting boundaries, right? Maybe one of you has been letting the other one walk all over them, or maybe you've both been enabling each other's bad habits, and it's time to establish some clear rules of engagement, But is that a good thing? I mean, the Emperor can be a good thing, right? It can be about creating a safe and secure foundation for the connection, about establishing trust and respect, about building something solid and lasting, But it can also be about being too controlling, too rigid, too inflexible, The dark side of the Emperor is the tyrant, the dictator, the person who needs to be in charge all the time, who can't handle any dissent, who crushes anyone who challenges their authority, And with the moon still hanging around, those illusions could be really dangerous here, right? Maybe you think you're being strong and assertive, but you're actually just being controlling and manipulative, Or maybe you're projecting that onto your twin flame, and you're seeing them as a tyrant when they're actually just trying to protect themselves, It's the moon can really distort your perception of the Emperor, making it hard to see the truth. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit more, right? The Emperor in its best light is about leadership, about taking responsibility, about creating a stable and supportive environment, Maybe you're the one who needs to step up and be the leader in this connection, to guide your twin flame, to provide them with the structure and support they need to grow, Or maybe your twin flame is the one who needs to take the lead, to set the direction, to make the tough decisions, It could go either way, honestly. The Emperor is just saying that someone needs to be in charge, that someone needs to take responsibility for the connection, But what if neither of you wants to be the Emperor? What if you both just want to be free and independent, to do your own thing, to not have to answer to anyone, That's where it gets tricky, right? Because the Emperor can also represent a resistance to authority, a desire to break free from rules and restrictions, a need to assert your own individuality, Maybe you're feeling suffocated by the connection, it's too demanding, too controlling, too limiting, and you need to break free, to assert your own independence, to reclaim your own power, Or maybe your twin flame is feeling that way, and they're pushing you away, resisting your attempts to control them, asserting their own autonomy, It's like the Emperor can be a real source of conflict in a twin flame connection, especially if both of you are strong-willed and independent, And then, with the Nine of Swords still lingering, all that anxiety and fear could be fueling your need for control, right? Like maybe you're trying to control the situation because you're afraid of losing your twin flame, or afraid of getting hurt, or afraid of the unknown, It's like your anxiety is driving you to be more controlling than you normally would be, and that's pushing your twin flame away, creating even more anxiety, It's a vicious cycle. This is where it becomes, super important to tap into that harmonizing energy of the Hematite moon, right? Because the Hematite moon is all about balance, about finding that middle ground, about harmonizing opposing forces, It's about finding a way to assert your own authority without being controlling, to set boundaries without being rigid, to create structure without being suffocating, The Emperor is a powerful force, but it needs to be tempered with compassion, with understanding, with flexibility, It's about finding a way to lead with love, to guide with wisdom, to support with strength, It's about being a benevolent ruler, not a tyrant. And with the Wheel of Fortune in the mix, it's like all bets are off, right? Things are changing, things are evolving, things are spinning out of control, and the Emperor is trying to hold it all together, to create some stability amidst the chaos, But is that even possible? Can you really control the Wheel of Fortune? Can you really stop the flow of change? Or is it better to just surrender to the ride, to trust that everything is happening for a reason, to let go of your need for control, That's the big question, right? The Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune are like two opposing forces, constantly battling each other, constantly challenging each other, constantly forcing you to adapt and evolve, This is where surrendering to the magnetic rhythms comes in, right? The ebb and flow, the push and pull, the cyclical nature of the connection, You can't control everything that happens in this journey. You can't force your twin flame to be who you want them to be. You can't make the path easy or painless. All you can do is trust the process, surrender to the flow, and have faith that everything is unfolding as it should, even when it doesn't make sense, And that's really hard, I know, especially when you're dealing with all these intense emotions, right? But the Hematite moon is there to remind you that you're not alone, that you're supported, that you have the strength and the wisdom to navigate these challenges, It's about finding that inner peace, that inner stillness, even when the world around you is spinning out of control. It's about harmonizing with the energy, not fighting against it. So with the Emperor showing up, what can you actually do, right? I mean, practically speaking. Well, first of all, assess the situation, right? Take a look at your connection and ask yourself, where is the lack of structure? Where are the boundaries being crossed? Where is someone being too controlling or not controlling enough? Identify the areas where you need to bring more balance, more stability, more authority, Then, communicate, right? Talk to your twin flame about your needs, your concerns, your desires, Be honest, be open, be vulnerable, but also be assertive, be clear, be direct, Don't be afraid to set boundaries, to ask for what you need, to stand up for yourself, But do it with love, with compassion, with understanding, not with anger, with resentment, with judgment, And then take action, right? Don't just talk about it, do something about it, If you need to set boundaries, set them, If you need to take control of the situation, take control of the situation, If you need to assert your own authority, assert your own authority, But do it in a way that is respectful, that is responsible, that is aligned with your values, And remember those illusions from the moon card, right? They're probably still there, coloring your perception, so be extra careful about what you're believing, what you're trusting, Don't let your fears or your fantasies cloud your judgment. Stay grounded in reality, stay true to yourself, and always, always, always trust your intuition, The Emperor is a powerful card, but it's not the whole story, right? There's still more to uncover. There's still more guidance to receive. I'm really curious to see what the final card reveals, right? Is it going to confirm the Emperor's message? Is it going to challenge it? Is it going to offer a new perspective? Honestly, I have no idea, but I'm so excited to find out. Okay, let's pull that final card and see what happens, okay? Okay, so the final card is the Queen of Wands. Like, wow. After all that intense energy, like the Moon and the Nine of Swords, and then the Wheel of Fortune just spinning, and the Emperor trying to keep things under control. The Queen of Wands brings this totally different vibe, you know? This is like fiery, confident, independent energy. Like a total boss babe. Okay, so where do we even begin with the Queen of Wands? Well, first of all, she's all about passion, right? She's about creativity, she's about living life to the fullest, she's about being unapologetically yourself. In a twin flame context, oh my gosh, this could mean so many things, honestly. But the first thing that comes to mind is like, you are being called to step into your power, you know? To embrace your inner fire, to own your worth, to shine your light. It's like, after all that confusion and anxiety, the universe is saying, hey, it's time to stop hiding, it's time to stop playing small, it's time to unleash your inner queen. Which, like, could be scary, right? But also, like, super exciting. Okay, so, like, let's connect this to the other cards, right? We have the Moon still casting its shadows, still creating illusions, still making it hard to see the truth, right? And then we have the Nine of Cups, all those wishes and desires, but maybe with a catch, right? And then the Nine of Swords, all that anxiety and fear, clinging to you, making you doubt yourself, you know? And then the Eight of Wands, speeding things up, throwing all this information at you, making it hard to process everything, right? And then the Wheel of Fortune, spinning everything around, changing your direction, right? And then the Emperor trying to take control. So the Queen of Wands comes in and it's like, okay, enough is enough. It's time to take charge of your own life. It's time to create your own reality. It's time to be the queen you were born to be. Like, that's intense, right? It's like the universe is saying, you've been through a lot, you've learned a lot, now it's time to put it all into action. Which honestly could be terrifying, right? Especially after all that anxiety. But it could also be like the most amazing thing ever. Because the Queen of Wands isn't just about confidence, right? She's also about inspiration. She's about encouragement. She's about empowering others. She's about lighting up the world with her presence, you know? Maybe those illusions from the Moon are finally starting to fade, right? Maybe you're finally starting to see yourself clearly, to recognize your own worth, to believe in your own potential, you know? Or maybe those wishes from the Nine of Cups are finally starting to manifest, right? Maybe you're finally attracting the love, the abundance, the success that you deserve, you know. Or maybe that anxiety from the Nine of Swords is finally pushing you to take action, to break free from your fears, to pursue your passions, to live your dreams, you know. It's like you're being called to embrace your authentic self, to express your creativity, to share your gifts with the world, and to inspire others to do the same. Which, like, honestly, is the most amazing thing ever. So with the Queen of Wands in the mix, it's like anything is possible, right? You could experience a surge of energy, a burst of inspiration, a newfound sense of purpose, a deep connection with your inner self, you know. Or you could experience some challenges, some setbacks, some moments of self-doubt, some feelings of overwhelm, you know. It's all on the table. But here's the thing, and it's so important, the Queen of Wands isn't just about being happy and successful all the time, right? She's also about resilience, she's about courage, she's about facing your fears, she's about learning from your mistakes, she's about getting back up every time you fall, you know. You have the power to create your own reality, to manifest your own destiny, to attract the experiences you desire, you know. The Queen of Wands is here to remind you of that power, to empower you to step into your greatness, to inspire you to live your best life. And it needs to be a conscious decision. So, practically speaking, what does this even mean for you right now? Well, first of all, it means embracing your passions, right? What do you love to do? What makes you feel alive? What sparks your creativity? What ignites your fire? You know, identify those things and make time for them in your life, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Make space in your life for yourself. It also means expressing yourself authentically, right? Stop trying to be someone you're not. Stop Stop trying to please everyone else. Stop hiding your true self from the world. Be yourself, be real, be honest, be vulnerable, and let your light shine, right? That's not always easy, but it is important, right? And it also means taking action, right? Don't just sit back and wait for things to happen. Be proactive, be assertive, be willing to take risks, to step outside of your comfort zone, to pursue your dreams, right? The Queen of Wands is a call to action, a reminder that you have the power to create your own reality. Stop letting the moon and the Nine of Swords hold you back. But be mindful of those illusions, right? The moon is still there, casting its shadows, so don't get carried away by fantasies, don't make impulsive decisions, don't ignore red flags, Trust your intuition, stay grounded in reality, and always, always, always be true to yourself. Be that queen, and you know what queens do. And be kind to yourself, right? The Queen of Wands energy can be intense, it can be demanding, it can be challenging, so make sure you're taking care of yourself, that you're nourishing your body, your mind, and your spirit, that you're surrounding yourself with love and support, Remember the Hematite moon and its harmonizing energy. It is there to help you stay balanced, to stay centered, to stay true to yourself, no matter what challenges you face, right? Because this is a journey, and you are strong, and you are resilient, and you are capable of handling anything that comes your way. I have confidence in you. Honestly, I'm so excited for you. This is such a powerful card, and it's showing that you're ready to step into your power, to embrace your destiny, to live your best life, But what does that look like for you? That's the question. What does it mean for you to be the Queen of Wands? How can you express your authenticity, your creativity, your passion in a way that is both fulfilling for you and inspiring for others? That's what you need to consider. And remember all that talk about being a magnetic rhythm, a surrender to the cyclical nature of union, to find that balance between the chaos and control. It's about finding that dance, that harmony between your inner fire and the world around you. So honestly, that's the reading. I hope it was insightful for you. This has been so powerful with all the ups and downs, all the twists and turns. I really hope you resonate with it. Okay. So after all of that, right? All those cards, all that energy, all those twists and turns, the final card is Death. Whoa, okay. I know, don't freak out. I know that sounds scary, right? But honestly, the Death card is not about physical death, It's not about doom and gloom, it's about transformation. It's about endings that make way for new beginnings. And with that Hematite moon energy, it's even in the midst of endings, there's still harmony, there's still balance. So what does this even mean in the context of your twin flame connection? Well, it means something has to end, Something has to die. And that could be a relationship, it could literally be the end of the connection. But more likely, it's the end of something else. Maybe it's the end of old patterns, The patterns that aren't working anymore. Maybe it's the end of outdated beliefs, the beliefs that are holding you back. Maybe it's the end of toxic behaviors, the behaviors that are hurting you and your twin flame, even if you don't realize it. Remember the moon card, all those illusions. Maybe it's time for those illusions to die, to see things as they truly are, not as you wish they would be. And what about the Nine of Swords, all that anxiety and fear? Maybe it's time to release those fears, to let them go, to trust that everything is going to be okay, no matter what happens. And the Emperor, all that control. Maybe it's time to loosen your grip, to surrender to the flow, to trust that the universe has a plan for you. See, the Death card is all about cycles, right? Just like the magnetic rhythms we talked about at the beginning. It's about the ebb and flow of life, the constant change, the inevitable endings that lead to new beginnings. Think about the Wheel of Fortune, right? That wheel is always turning and things are always changing, whether we like it or not. So the Death card is saying, okay, something's gotta give, something's gotta shift, something's gotta end. But it's not necessarily a bad thing, It's actually a good thing, because endings create space for new beginnings. It's like clearing out the clutter in your closet so you can make room for new clothes. And that's where the Queen of Wands comes in, right? Embrace that fire. This is your chance to step into your power, to unleash your inner queen, to create a life that is aligned with your soul's purpose. But in order to do that, you have to release the old, you have to let go of what's no longer serving you. So, how do you even do that, right? Practically speaking. Well, first of all, you have to identify what needs to end, What are the patterns, the beliefs, the behaviors that are holding you back? Be honest with yourself. Dig deep. And then you have to release them, Let them go. Forgive yourself, forgive your twin flame, forgive the situation. It's okay to let go. It's okay to move on. It's okay to create something new. And it is okay to feel the emotion, but don't let it stick. This is where surrendering to those magnetic rhythms we spoke about at the beginning and embracing that transformative energy. It can be scary, I know, especially when you're so invested in this connection. But trust me, it's worth it, right? Because on the other side of this ending is a new beginning, a new opportunity, a new chance to create the life you've always dreamed of. It's like once that old stuff is gone, once that space is created, then you can actually start to build something new, something amazing, something truly fulfilling. So what does that new beginning even look like? I mean, honestly, it could go either way, It could mean a deeper, more authentic connection with your twin flame, a connection that is based on truth, on honesty, on mutual respect, on unconditional love. Maybe you've worked through your issues, you've released your fears, you've embraced your authentic selves, and you're finally ready to be together in a healthy, fulfilling way, Or it could mean a release from the connection, a realization that this relationship is not serving you, that you're better off on your own or with someone else, Maybe you've grown apart, you've realized that you have different paths, you've decided to move on, and that's okay, too. Remember the 9 of Cups, the wish card. True fulfillment comes from within, not from another person. So whatever the outcome, it's important to remember that you are worthy of love, you are worthy of happiness, and you are capable of creating a fulfilling life for yourself, with or without your twin flame. But what if you're scared, right? What if you're afraid of the unknown? What if you don't know what the future holds? Well, that's normal, Endings are always scary. Change is always uncertain. But that's also what makes life exciting, right? The unknown is full of possibilities, full of opportunities, full of surprises. Remember the moon card? Trust your intuition. Trust the universe. Have faith that everything is going to be okay, no matter what happens. And even if it's not okay right away, it will be okay eventually. Everything happens for a reason, even the hard stuff. Embrace the journey, embrace the change, embrace the unknown. You are strong, you are resilient, and you are capable of handling anything that comes your way, and this is where you put into practice that Hematite moon. Remember, this is all about transformation, right? It's about shedding the old to make way for the new. It's about releasing the past to embrace the future. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, the version that you were always meant to be. This ending is not a failure, it's an opportunity. An opportunity to grow, to learn, to evolve, to create a better future for yourself. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. You are strong, you are resilient, and you are capable of handling anything that comes your way. So, what do you do with all of this, right? I mean, what's the final takeaway? Well, it's this. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of happiness. You are capable of creating a fulfilling life for yourself. Don't let anyone, including your twin flame, tell you otherwise. Trust your intuition, follow your heart, and embrace your journey with courage, compassion, and self-love. And trust that the universe has your back, no matter what. And remember all that talk about magnetic rhythms, about surrendering to the ebb and flow, to the cyclical nature of the connection. It's all about finding that balance, that harmony, that inner peace. It's about trusting the process, even when it doesn't make sense, even when it's painful, even when it's scary. It's about knowing that everything is unfolding as it should, and that you are exactly where you need to be right now. So take these lessons, take these insights, and apply them to your life. Create a future that is aligned with your highest self, a future that is full of love, joy, and fulfillment. Embrace your power, embrace your worth, and embrace your journey with an open heart and a fearless spirit. You got this. I have so much faith in you. And always keep the power of magnetic rhythms and harmonizing energies in your heart. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today. And if you resonate with these readings, please reach out.